I think we're live. I think. Sorry I'm late. I ran over. I saw Ruby was streaming and she had the bubblegum hat on. So I ran in and told her that I need that hat because I already got the sun. She had the orange sunglasses and the hat on today. She said she was ranting about the forbidden people. I don't know who that is. Is that the Thorpes? I wasn't in there long enough I couldn't really hang out. But I will have to check it out. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Good morning and happy Valentine's Day, Grace, wherever you are. Tugboat got into the hospital. Holy shit. That's not good. Let's see some farting on taints. Wow. Hold on a second. I can't show this. Just a cursory Google search. I don't see anything at all about farting on taints. I see an article here. It says that this chick farted on her boyfriend's balls and he won't let her forget it. Farting on trains. Beautiful women farting. Yeah, I don't see anything about farting on taints, unfortunately. Sorry, buddy. I did try. You got to give me that. All right, this is the end of Memphis. Not the end of Memphis, but it's the end of Memphis 1986. We got 2 episodes left, December 20th and December 27th. And then we're going to watch a video on Jerry Lawler to close out Memphis 86. And then we'll have to decide next week. We'll figure out what we want to do with Friday, if we want to switch to a different territory, what year we want to go to, all that kind of fun stuff. Anyway, okay. Enough. Whatever this is. Is Grace single? Grace is single in a sense. In that it does not have a boyfriend. So she's single. Is Grace available? That could be a whole nother issue, I think. How you doing, Moondust? All right, this is December 20th, 1986, next to last show of 1986. Pomp Flair will be thrilled. Tommy Rich coming into the territory. When I wanted just the right thumbnail. I wanted Boy Tony, and luckily he was on the show, but I did look a little bit, I did see a little bit looking for the thumbnails. I did see the Tommy Rich is back. Anyway, let's go. Here's December 20th, 1986 in Memphis, CWA Championship Wrestling as seen by the audience in Evansville, Indiana. King TL, big news, huh?
Will be here, as will the great Kabuki. We'll have the rock and roll RPMs, and a little bit later today, you will see Tommy Rich.
There we go.
Okay, that's no bad lineup for action, I'll tell you. We're going to get at it right now. We'll take time out. Be back with Boy Tony and Tracy Smothers in just a moment. Okay, we're ready. I heard some interesting rumors about downtown Bruno during the week. We'll find out about it right now. Well, part of it's true. Take a look at this. Is this the downtown Bruno I have come to know and love? This is the downtown Bruno you have come to know and love, baby. I'll tell you what. Hey, the people got two.
Look at this. Look at what's up with downtown Bruno. Oh my God, dude, he's greasy as hell.
Tired of seeing me with a beard because it associated me with a guy that has a beard like Jerry Lawler. And I certainly didn't want to look like him, but I should have saved it when I shaved it off and put it in an envelope and mailed it to the man because maybe he could have pasted it up here where he lacks a mustache, see?
Well, maybe Bubba could have pasted it on top of his head where he lacks a little hair.
52,000.7 comedians out of work, and you're trying to be one. And these goofballs call me a weasel. I don't like it. I am downtown Bruno, 4210 Boulevard, baby. But enough of these hillbilly redneck gigs because I don't care. I don't care. The big news, baby. The big news. The show I heard all around the world. I want to tell you something. For a long, long time, my good friend Boy Tony here was getting the shaft from a lot of people, you understand. You got a bunch of goofballs like Eddie Marlin and his buddies that are always putting the shaft to my man here. Anyway, and I'm going to try to ignore these hillbilly rednecks. They're probably friends of yours. Anyway, and
He's heavily moisturized. He looks like it, man. Holy shit. He looks rough here.
Anyway, this man here is one of the greatest professional athletes, professional wrestlers in the entire world. And his persuasion has nothing to do with my feelings, you understand? Because maybe we ain't persuaded the same way, maybe we are. That's none of nobody's business, right? Right? But the point is, this man is an athlete, this man is a wrestler. And we finally got together, sat down. We flew back to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, baby. Port Duquesne Boulevard, that's right.
Hey,
up
man.
there. And this man and myself sat down, signed the contract, and all of a sudden now, I am, and this is the big news. Everybody listen up. Downtown Bruno and Boy Tony are a new team, baby. The dynamic duo. The team that can't be beat, baby. The rock-steady crew from downtown Pittsburgh,
Thanks,
baby.
He-Man, you too.
And right now, I'm making him an honorary citizen of downtown Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania from now on. Mr. Boy Tony, Fort Duquesne Boulevard.
That's
and myself are a team. We are together. We are a team, and we are a duo. And now,
all right,
baby,
thanks for stopping in, He-Man.
and now, all them geeks out there, including Tommy Rich, Jerry Bryant, Tracy Smothers, Lawler, and everybody else, don't stand a chance with Mr. Tony with downtown Bruno at his side. I'll tell you.
Interesting that Bruno now thinks that Boy Tony can beat anybody on the roster, like, easily.
Mr. Tony, Boy Tony, all the time, week after week, day after day, month after month, time after time, getting these geeks in the ring. Geeks like Mr. David Razor, Mr. Name some others, David Johnson, you know. The thing goes on and on. Guys like that, see, and this man would go in the ring and destroy him. Eins, zwei, drei. That's German for 1, 2, 3, baby. And hey, oh yeah, baby. And we got tired of it. You know, I get tired of seeing. This man is a fantastic athlete, a great wrestler, and a heck of a man. And he wants to come out here and he wants to look good. He wants to beat somebody. Because who's going to think Boy Tony's somebody if he beats nobody? It's like
What's up? It's me.
him beating you, understand? So, I would like to say that I sat down and I have a contract. Boy Tony will be getting into the square circle today with none other than Tracy Smothers. And it's going to be 1, 2, 3. Or should I say 1,
I'm not sure
2,
you did him
3.
any favor by getting...
Oh, I did him a favor. It's going to be the easiest match we ever.
Let's go to the ring. We got to get on with it.
I went through I just like quick scanned through the episodes looking for a fun thumbnail, and I ended up using one from the very first segment on the first episode.
After we listen to the winding noise of downtown
Tracy.
And there's a whole different story. Oh, Tracy Smothers leaps over the rope into the ring. Downtown Bruno in here with Boy Tony. Boy Tony and Downtown Bruno are now a team, they say. Boy Tony, an honorary... Aren't they a picture of love in this together day, huh? My goodness. Oh. I don't know whether I can bring myself to... Tracy Smothers back onto the ropes, but he takes Boy Tony back into the turnbuckle. And Bruno is livid. See him jumping up and down there. I don't know what he's saying. Bruno's first
Before he found Kamala.
public appearance.
Who else did Harvey Whipple manage? He managed Bertha Faye, remember? He did the song for Bertha Faye. I'm trying to remember. The Brooklyn Brawler, maybe?
With Boy Tony. And he is livid, as you said, David. He really walking around. We almost lost him behind that ring post over there. He disappeared. Tracy Smothers reverses on that left arm. There's some hair pulling by Boy Tony.
I didn't smoke before the stream, so I'm hitting a little bit of Bio Jesus to get a jump start on everything. There we go.
Mothers, Boy Tony. About the same size. Actually, Tony looks like he may have a pound or two.
That was not good. Damn, that was though.
Great drop kick by Tracy Smothers and Boy Tony. And
That looked like a Ben Thorpe drop kick.
downtown Bruno. Little consolation
Kimchi.
outside the ring.
Did you know it's me whenever Kamala would do Independence? Like, I don't know how long it lasted, but then like the mid to late 2000s, I remember I saw him at a few shows, and you could actually pay him to wear the costume and come out and manage him. Like you could pay, that was like an extra gig for him that he would like, they would either have the company sell it or like the promotion sell it, or he would come up with he would have them find somebody, and then you could be Kim Chi for the day.
Yeah, boy, Tony has put on quite a bit of weight since he used to be Tony Falk. He's up in the 238, 240 category. Take it down to the mat. The shoulders are down.
Come on, Jerry.
Downtown Bruno had the referee occupied otherwise.
Referee out of position.
By the time he got there, he couldn't hold the 3 count that he had, what apparently he had.
Was Kamala a Harvard grad? I don't know. I don't know much about Kamala. I mean, I've seen some of his stuff before he was Kamala, when he was what was his name? Sweet something? I can't remember. Or Sugar Bear Harris. But I don't know too much about his personal life.
Can't always tell, though, because a lot of wrestlers will not exert until they absolutely have to. Oh, look at that leapfrog. Whoa. Big elbow puts him down on the mat.
Downtown Bruno was talking about the coup he had scored here and getting a match against Tracy Smothers. I wonder if Boy Tony is having second thoughts about that match about now.
After that elbow, I'm sure he is. Tony was originally scheduled to be in
Hey, what's up, Daninsky?
here against a less formidable opponent than Tracy Smothers. Look at referee Jerry Calhoun. He's finally gotten sick of all the harassment. Nice backdrop from base Tracy Smothers. And he was moving Bruno around the ring to sit him down over there. Bruno back up on the apron again. He was moving Bruno around the ring to sit him down over there. Bruno back up on the apron again. He's about to get him disqualified, too.
Oh, hey, what's up, Eddie?
Oh, look at Dave. He's got a can of hairspray going after Tracy Smothers. Come on, Jerry. In the ring.
Well,
Jerry.
I meant to see if he called him based, but I couldn't go back. I lost track of where it was.
Calhoun down here with Downtown Bruno on the floor.
Wow, he's really digging in there. Where's the ref?
And Smothers, who had his eyes sprayed with hairspray.
How awkward.
And the hand of, I can't.
Unbelievable. Can you imagine? This was 5 days before Christmas, and Boy Tony beats Tracy Smothers on the last show before Christmas.
We saw what happened while the referee is out here arguing and trying to get Downtown Bruno back in his chair. The sequence, he grabbed him at his eyes, reached into the bag, didn't he, and pulled out hairspray.
Yeah, a whole can of hairspray.
He got his tights for about fucking 2 minutes. He had to be pulling on him until the ref finally came over.
Sprayed him right in the eyes with it.
And you know, it's kind of like, hairspray is kind of like a form of mace. I don't mean to say that it's the same thing, but boy, if you...
A form of mace?
Yeah, there he goes.
Yeah, you can see it right there. He grabs it.
Right in the face.
Right in the eyes, grabbing him by the hair, continuing to douse Tracy with it. And then he went on, and not only that, he grabbed the tights when he got to 1, 2, 3. We could see.
Tony was he was at least civil about it. Some of the people just fucking almost pulled the tights off the guy.
That from the side.
Remember when Flair would do that spot where someone would pull his tights and it'd pull him down, and then he'd just wrestle with his trunks down for a couple minutes and like do the bump off the top with his pants down?
It does. Well, I guess there's nothing else we can say, but the official winner is
Boy Tony with
Tony.
Downtown Bruno. 3 minutes, 39 seconds the time. That's the way it goes into the record books.
No way that should have happened. We'll take
No
time out
way.
and be back in a moment. Oh, yeah.
If this were Smoky Mountain, Bob Armstrong would demand a match between Boy Tony and Tracy Smothers, where if Tracy wins, he has to empty out the bag. I remember they had a guy in Smoky Mountain. I can't remember what his name is now. He was like a mafia type guy, but he had like a violin case, and there was like what's in the violin case matches.
We're laughing and feeling good. By golly, it's that time of the year, and we want to wish you a very Merry Christmas and happy holidays from all the folks at Championship Wrestling. Standing here with the King, and by golly, you can tell that this man is blessed and ready to give some lessons out on some other.
I don't know about that, Lance.
Killer Kyle was the guy's name. I just remembered it.
It has been a super year, and it is nice to have an opportunity to come out here and say thanks to the fans in Evansville. I got a double reason to thank them, Lance. As a matter of fact, of course, everybody knows I've been wrestling in Evansville for years and have enjoyed all the great fan support. And just this past year, I don't even know if you know this, Lance. Did you realize that I've opened up a furniture store here in Evansville?
No.
You didn't realize that?
No. True.
And you look just like the kind of man that needs some furniture right here. You know, now I'm the guy that can sell it to you. Now, yeah, we did.
What does he mean he doesn't know there's a furniture store? We've seen numerous commercials for it.
A good friend of mine, Doug Hurt, and I have gone into business up there, and it's called Lawler's Discount Furniture. It's on, most people know there in Evansville, it's 1500 North Garvin, and as I said, I want to thank them for the fan support over the years, but also the support of the store has been tremendous. People have come in. We did personal appearances up there, and we've got, as a matter of fact, some great furniture bargains, Lance, and have you got a recliner for Christmas or anything like that? It'd be a great Christmas.
Do you know where I could get a good recliner at a reasonable price?
Let's see. I just might know. What did I say that address was? 1500 North Garvin. That would be a good place. No, I do want to thank all the fans that have come in and shop there. And, of course, like we said, thank you for the fan support. We're looking forward to when are we going to be back in Evansville, Lance?
We're going to be back on the 7th. January 7th, a Wednesday night, will be our next appearance in Evansville Coliseum.
I'm looking forward to that, and that would be a good way, of course, the first of the year, we always like to start off with some fireworks, and I can guarantee you when the King gets back there in action, that's what they can look forward to.
Hey, why don't you do...
If you're still on the fence about I'm sure we'll do a poll on the community page, but like of what wrestling you want to see. I don't know too much about 1987 Memphis, but I did read that like this year ends with like Tommy Rich coming in, and like the next year kind of kicks off with a Lawler Tommy Rich feud. But I don't know how. I mean, that's all I know though.
Do this when somebody gets a.
I found other promotions too. Like we could watch a year of Portland. I think I found multiple years of. I don't know which one it is. I think it's. Oh shit! What the hell's the name of that? It's one of the at least one of the Puerto Rican promotions. I think it was like the World Wrestling Council, if I remember right. And then there was also like there were some like I don't know about outlaw, but like promotions that cropped up, but then they didn't last for very long. Like I found like some pretty complete episodes of those. So there's a lot of shit we can pick from. Happy Valentine's Day, you sexy fusion. Thank you, Rush Limbaugh's burner account. My most loyal Twitch viewer, Rush Limbaugh's burner account.
Paid ticket there in the furniture store. Maybe you can get them a discount ticket or something to the wrestling down there on Wednesday night.
That's a good idea. We'll come back and talk about that a little later.
Okay.
Don't forget to wish Grace a happy Valentine's Day, Rush Limbaugh. Yeah, about Tugboat, I did. That sucks, man. I was at Target the other day, and there's a Tugboat figure, like a new, well, I don't think it's a new figure, but it's like a re-release figure. That sucks. How bad is it? Oh, Pomp Flair also. I just saying, I hope you end up coming in. We're heading into a Tommy Rich feud. Old Wildfire.
Know what you're in store for.
Downtown Bruno heading out here in front of his two giants we were just talking about. Good night, Jim Jameson, Mike Murphy. And they are going against Goliath and Big Bubba.
We were just saying.
IWC. I can't remember which. When I do the community thing about what we're going to do, I'll post like specifics. I just can't remember right now which Puerto Rican promotion it is.
Just before we came back on here.
I'm also open to trying Smoky Mountain. I mean, if the first episode doesn't work, then at least we'll know. But I'm open to trying it.
Would you like to know you had to go against these two guys when you got up in the morning?
Oh! Well, there they are, Big Bubba and Goliath. Time, and here we go.
Okay, baby, we're going to see the baddest tag team in professional
Come on,
wrestling.
man.
They talk about Stud and Bundy and all the rest. Talk about the Memphis Vice down here. Talk about Jerry Lawler and Tommy Rich, Jarrett and Travis. The list just goes on and on. They even talk about Sato and Goto, the Sheep Fighters. This is the tag team. This is a tag team. The heaviest, biggest, strongest, baddest, toughest, meanest tag team in the history of professional wrestling, baby. Look at
Am I open to midget wrestling? I mean, I am, but last time we did midget wrestling, we got copyright struck. Well, didn't we get copyright struck? But they took down the stream, ESPN did.
that drop kick. Look at that 417-pound Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania drop kick. Oh, yeah, this is a tag team. Goliath and Big Fella. 2 tons of fun. The Good Time Boys, baby. Disaster Incorporated, or as I like to call them, Downtown Connection. And this is destruction. This is what it's all about, baby. This is downtown graveyard destruction. And that guy's going to be graveyard dead when this match is over. Look at it. He just practically decapitated him. And I'm starting to lose my voice. I'm so excited. I got this tag team. I got Boy Tony. I got everybody and everything, baby.
We'll give you a chance to get your voice back. I got to tell you that in that first match, if you're proud of Boy Tony while you were out
I
here,
am proud of
he
him,
was
Lance.
playing Tracy Smothers in the eye. Everybody saw it. We got it on replay.
First of all, if he did spray Smothers, which he did not, it's only because he stinks. He smells bad. I mean, everybody says how strong
If Lance Russell has a problem with how that last match was officiated, instead of running his mouth to downtown Bruno, why doesn't he go talk to Eddie Marlin and ask why the referees don't know how to do their jobs?
Yeah, but odor is not everything, brother. Breath means nothing. The guy hasn't brushed his teeth in 3 years. Look at that slam, by the way. But hey, he didn't spray anything. We don't need illegal tactics to win matches. If I wanted a cheater, I would have hired Jerry Lawler or Tommy Rich or Fabulous Ones or somebody like that. I want professional wrestlers. I want champions. I want real men. Real men like Boy Tony. Real men. One of professional wrestling's real men. Like these two, Big Bubba and Goliath. Look at these two unfortunate geeks who have delusions of adequacy, getting in the ring, even getting in the same
Hopefully
ring
he'll pull through.
with 2 of downtown Bruno's wrestlers, with 2 of downtown Bruno's athletes. Look at that clothesline. He practically took his head off and sent it rolling down.
Maybe like his past self beating up these jobbers will send strength to him in the present.
Union Avenue, baby. This is professional wrestling. This is destruction. And this is what's making me $1 million a year, baby. One and a lot of zeros. Look at that massive suplex. They say the she-cat suplexes. What about Bubba?
He sunk.
It's not 407 pounds of twisted steel and a little bit of sex appeal, baby. And there it is. Standing drop kick from Big Bubba. Live, baby. Live.
Did he get his feet up in his chest? I gotta see that. I'm sorry. Let's see that.
Oh, not living color, baby. And there it is.
I got in like the upper abdominal area.
Live and shown up living color. That's what it's all about. Downtown Bruno, tell it like it is, baby. And now, Lance, I know you're trying to grab that microphone, so talk while I listen.
I bet the real reason Eddie Marlin didn't help him is because he's either drunk or he just called off of work. He's not picking up his phone. He's busy helping his grandson.
Man.
You talked enough for all of us. Downtown.
Baby. Good job, fellas. Stay on it, baby.
It was impressive, that standing drop kick by Bubba, the way he held.
Who is it in chat that always says the guy from Memphis Vice is like a generic Eddie Gilbert? I kind of got it, but when I was like scanning through, I swore he was Eddie Gilbert. I was like, holy shit, but then it was just the guy from Memphis Vice.
It's hard to believe, I'll tell you.
What about Goliath's drop kick? What about the mighty Goliath drop kick?
You think Hogan would even gives a shit? You think he's even going to pray for him or anything? Probably not.
I heard it. Take what you can get.
He's busy.
All the best athletes from Pittsburgh. Myself from Pittsburgh, one of the greatest wrestlers there is. You know, if I wanted to beat Goliath from Pittsburgh, of course he's not from downtown, but he's from Pittsburgh. I've made Bubba an honorary citizen of downtown Pittsburgh. I've made Boy Tony an honorary citizen of downtown Pittsburgh. Heck, I've made Tojo, Goto, Sato, Kabuki, everybody honorary citizens of downtown Pittsburgh.
Oh, look at how little this guy looks.
Look at that Pittsburgh splash, baby. There it goes. 1, 2.
But it didn't look good. it didn't look good at all, I don't think. Like, he's such a big dude. That guy's so small. I thought it was just going to look brutal, and that looked really... I mean, he's protecting him, but it looks really shitty.
No, he don't even want him. Just like the police on 42 Kane Boulevard, baby. They don't want you till they good and ready. And, baby, I think Bubba's just about good and ready to show him how we do it on 42 Kane Boulevard. No, he never been there,
God.
baby. I told him all about it, Dusty Rhodes, and this is what it's all about. Look at Big Bubba. Gonna destroy this poor unfortunate creature.
I actually kind of... This is going to sound weird, but I actually think he's kind of an interesting character, but... I don't necessarily understand the need for him to be in the ring having matches. I would just use him as like an enforcer that might come in at the end and do like a big move or something. But I mean, I think he loses a lot of his luster seeing him wrestle because he's not as like crazy, like as, well, I mean, just look at the difference. When he came in, he lifted him up like he weighed like 2 pounds. Everything that Tugboat does looks like it's killing the guy.
The guy is a glutton for punishment. He must be a masochist even being in a ring with Big.
Yeah, Pontflair, we have a lot of dark humor in this chat. We're dealing with our feelings over Tugboat with inappropriate humor.
Bubba and Goliath, and here it comes another big splash. There it is, baby. This ain't a 3 count, nothing is. I ain't buying. Right, there it is, baby.
Like, that looked more brutal than the one from Goliath.
Bring that down to history.
Is there a stop button on this thing right here?
Yeah.
Night. Downtown Bruno, I don't know about you, but he totally distracted me. I couldn't even watch, although it was so one-sided. I'm not going to say it was any great contest.
I don't really drink beer, so it would be a bad review right off the bat. Because I wouldn't, I mean, there's no way that it tastes good. I think it's probably like the scraping the bottom of the barrel beer. Like, I don't even like supposedly the good tasting beers.
But Bruno just bubbled.
I could do, it's kind of semi-related. I could get 1/8 of Ric Flair drip, and we could review that.
Over today, Dave.
Yeah, the time on it, 3 minutes, 54 seconds as Big Bubba and Goliath get the victory in there.
Okay, we've got the great Kabuki, Wildfire, Tommy Rich still in store. Lots more
Kabuki and Tommy Rich.
on Championship Wrestling. Be back to it in a moment. Right there to remind you that coming up on the end of this particular program, you are going to see an event on the AWA Southern Tag Championship belts that you don't want to miss. Let me put it that way, and I'll leave it there until a little later in the show. We'll talk about it. Now, back to the Furniture King.
Back to the Furniture King.
Oh, I just go ahead. No, I was relieved.
You know something, Lance? When I was watching that last match, I can't help but think, if only Downtown Bruno would have stayed in his chair. If he would have come down to Lawler's discount furniture, he could have got a lazy boy so comfortable, he would have forgot to interfere in the match.
Interested in the fact that, what was that address again, Jerry?
It's 1500 North Garvin there in Evansville, Indiana.
okay.
Lawler's Discount Furniture, go ahead.
I probably could find it from that description
You
right
definitely
there.
could, yes. What was that you were saying? I thought that was a great idea. What did you say about tickets?
Tickets, why don't you get tickets when somebody buys something, they get a discount ticket or ticket free?
Free ticket? Wait a minute, Lance. Let's don't go too far.
Okay, I'm carried away here.
That's a good idea.
This is so good. Hey, Lance, don't get carried away. Free tickets?
As a matter of fact, I think we do that, or we're going to start doing it. Anybody buys anything in the store, come on in, and they get some free tickets to wrestling in Evansville.
Okay. Great Kabuki versus Ed Maddox.
I was about to try to eat the weed.
Maddox had to have had a sleepless night knowing that he is going to be going against Kabuki. The armaments that Kabuki had.
No, I mean, I don't see that match happening on TV. It doesn't. They book Kabuki like he's like Goldberg or something.
There with the nunchucks. And Kojo Yamamoto in his corner. This will be a one-fall, 10-minute time limit match. Introducing, wrestling out of Memphis, Tennessee at 216 pounds, Ed Maddox. Going against him from the Far East, 228 pounds with Kojo Yamamoto in his corner. The great Kabuki. 1 fall, 10-minute time limit.
Great Khali.
Jerry Calhoun calls for the bell.
You know what pisses me off about the Great Khali? Is they never made an elite Mattel of him. But they made like a standard one, like the shitty, like pretty much like you can't pose them or do anything with them. And then they made it, they finally released an elite one, which was like a much sought after figure. Not necessarily by myself, I'm not a big Khali fan, but it was one that collectors wanted. And how they distributed it was they made you buy 4, not even repaints, reissues of like super common figures, and they put like 1 piece of Khali in each one of them. I hate that shit.
Kabuki. With a...
Oh, that, yeah, for sure. OBGYN Kenobi. Yeah, like I say, he's booked here like Goldberg. He comes in, beats the shit out of people. It seems like he's never... I think this is his longest run. Last time he was in '86 was like pretty short. I think he had 1 match and then he did the loop.
Worldwide reputation.
Ed Maddox.
Ed Maddox apparently not in awe. Good move. He takes him down. We've seen Maddox a couple of times before. Good athlete. Experience is one of the big differences in he and this man spinning around on the left of your screen, the great Kabuki.
See, Maddox was thinking about tying up in the conventional style with a wrestler. Kabuki, and that's the longest extremity when you reach out there with that leg. Kabuki shot that leg out, turned it all around. Yamamoto drilled him with that kendo stick right on the finger. And the referee's telling Kojo, sit down, sit down. You notice how he obeyed the referee. Double chop from Kabuki.
Double chop. There we go.
There he is with the feet again.
Spinning back kick, he nails Ed Maddox and puts him back down on the deck. It's tough enough for any young wrestler.
I don't know. I don't remember. I remember Ranger Ross, but I can't. Anytime I try to visualize Ranger Ross, I think of the other guy they had, Pittman.
Who has limited experience. But to go against somebody with the arsenal that Kabuki has, and the martial arts and so forth, it's just even that much worse for a youngster.
Maybe Ben and Grace have a girlfriend experience. Oh, I hope it's not. The boyfriend experience was bad enough. What the hell's the girlfriend experience going to be like?
Oh, Kojo popped him right in the top of the head with that kendo stick while he was over there. It's so disgusting.
Why was... Okay, I didn't get... I literally, when I saw that she was streaming, I went in and it was like 8:14, so I only stayed for a couple minutes. But Ruby said she was talking about the forbidden people. Did something happen? Did Grace make her mad again, or did something happen there? Or is there a different set of forbidden people?
I mean, you've got this wrestler in here in the great Kabuki who is overpowering Maddox.
Yeah, like he needs more trouble.
Yeah, and then he doesn't need the manager over here popping him with that kendo stick. And the manager...
The lady right here put on her Mickey Mouse sweater and still had to go in standing room only. Oh, God, look at Kabuki.
Doesn't need to do it.
Imagine living in Evansville, Indiana in 1986 and getting a look at that kisser.
I mean, come on. There's that guy in control of the match with the green
Look at
teeth.
that face.
Great Kabuki.
Yeah, I feel like I saw Pittman more than Ranger Ross.
Drills him with another chop right in the pressure point. Through the rope.
Maddox still trying to battle it back.
Trying to fight his way back.
Reverses Kabuki.
Oh!
Kabuki just
That's
caught
it. He should have
himself
pinned him
over in
there.
the other corner. He's just quick as a cat on the rope. Here he comes.
Maddox went flying in there after.
Nah, that's like he should have pinned him on the kick, but he should have acted surprised too. You know what I mean? Like he should have hit it and then been like, "Oh man," and then went for the pin, like opportunistic. That would have been pretty neat. As it is, he blew his load, and then he, we ended up flaccid in the end. All the mystery. Unfortunately, it's the flaccid after, so all the mystery's gone.
And there's the 2 count, and the count of 3. This one's over. A mistake a youngster will make as he goes into the corner. The great.
I'll have to watch the Ruby stream. I think it was on her throwaway channel.
Kabuki, Tojo Yamamoto walking out of here with a victory. Time on it, 2 minutes, 54 seconds.
It was a matter of time, but it was complicated by the fact that when he reversed that whip,
shit, here we go.
He had him, and obviously Kabuki was still in total control. The great Kabuki, the winner. Tojo Yamamoto.
Well, Mr. Len Russell, in the early part of the TV, how come you don't show the evidence of the so-called the Big Shot King?
I think you have to give some, like if we were going to do an awards for 1986 Memphis, I think you would have to give serious consideration to Tojo being put up for like the MVP of 1986. I mean, he did a lot of carrying in the second half.
Because look, I tell you what, the King had beaten
Jedi Rich.
beating King all over the place. You understand?
Jedi Rich, can we get you to Kabukify? That would be pretty cool.
He won by disqualification.
You did not show.
Imagine if Jedi Rich puts on the Kabuki outfit and does the nunchucks, then gives Joy the green mist. Psh, that'd be amazing.
All these friends had
To me, and everyone else would be super confused.
to come in and survive it. You understand? You don't show that. Why don't you show the proof? So-called, what Jerry Lawler so-called Big Shot King.
Well, what we showed was the fact that he won.
You didn't show the fact. You didn't show the fact. You didn't show the evidence.
Jerry Lawler won by disqualification. Jerry Lawler is the one that gets the world heavyweight title shot against Nick Bockwinkel, and he won it by disqualification. Now,
No, nothing happened. That's a lie. I tell you what. This time, Mr. Kabuki and the Big Shot King be in the ring. And
Big
when they
Shot
close
King?
it all barbed wire, you understand? And then I tell you what, all these friends cannot come in and help the king.
Well, also,
Lawler versus Kabuki in a barbed wire match.
Tojo Yamamoto cannot.
I never did interfere with any kind of match. Mr. Kabuki is going to show the king, so-called Big Shot King, who Mr. Kabuki is. Mr. Kabuki is the greatest wrestler in the country, in the world, and he's going to show Lawler that he's going to give Lawler the wrestling of his life, and Lawler going to beg Mr. Kabuki and tell Mr. Kabuki that you can have the world title match. You understand?
I hear what you're saying, Tojo. Well, that's why they're going to have the match, by the way.
And I tell you,
Do you think there was a lot of like strategy and negotiating in a situation like this? When somebody like Kabuki comes into Memphis, you have to think the overarching goal of his presence is that he's going to put over Lawler, right? But Kabuki knows that once he puts over Lawler, he's probably not going to be brought back in super often. So do you think they like he agrees to put Lawler over, but he has to be brought in like basically he would want to hit a certain tier of money and like looking good in the territory so he doesn't just come in and get beat. You know what I mean? I wonder how much negotiation was there, if it was just a matter of like just naming the right price.
what? The Big Shot King never shown Mr. Kabuki nothing, never showed me nothing, never showed the fans nothing. But I tell you what, Mr. Kabuki going to give him the wrestling lesson, and he's going to be the next world heavyweight champion of the world. You understand?
So says Tojo Yamamoto, but they'll still have the match regardless of what he says. We'll take time out and we'll be back in a moment.
Is this the kick? Oh yeah, look at that. Boom! He should have just fucking
Be
covered
ready
him.
for more of that big action coming up in the ring in just one moment. Before we get to it, we want to get him out here.
Oh, so yesterday's stream, which admittedly encompassed like, 8 hours of just a shit ton of different people's content, 32 copyright claims. It doesn't none affect visibility outside of I think Russia. That was the only country that had like a complete block, but there was like over 30 copyright claims on that stream.
World heavyweight champion.
Here we go.
Here he comes. Tommy's going to be in action here in just a moment. And we're delighted to get him here on Championship Wrestling Rare. Tommy, how you doing, partner? Good to have you out here today. We've been looking.
You'd ask for a title run, guaranteeing your stay and guaranteed money. Yeah, I mean, that kind of stuff interests me. I know it's kind of maybe boring to some people, but like my interest in wrestling is like, I'm really interested in like the booking part of it and like the matchmaking. And I know that back then it was different because you didn't have everybody under contract, but you could just say, okay, here's what we're going to do. Like you'd have to negotiate probably multiple tours with some people to get the story that you wanted. And you're trying to book it with the most efficient number of dates, and they're trying to get the most money or more dates or whatever, or less dates. I just think it's interesting to think about how something like that worked. Maybe Lawler's talked about it in a shoot or something.
Looking forward to this particular day.
Well, thank you very much. First of all, I'd like to say I'm going to be in Blytheville tonight, and I want everybody to come over to Blytheville.
Look at Tommy Rich.
Arkansas, going to have a big card over.
He looks like he would have been on that show. What's that show we watched yesterday? Nashville Starseek. I think that he would have been on that show.
There, and well, I say I'm doing good. I'm not doing the best in the world. Anyway, what did I hear you say that Jerry Lawler, he's got a world title shot at the first?
Yeah, it was a situation where he and the great Kabuki had an elimination match, and whoever won it got the shot at the world title in January, and Lawler won it by disqualification, so he will be
Sean
representing and going against the world heavyweight champion.
If you were looking at the best like MVPs of Memphis, I don't think in 1986, I really want to say Joe LeDuc, but I don't know if he was like, do you have to weigh, or like which matters more, the amount of time you were in the territory, or like how hot did you make the territory while you were there? You know what I mean? Like LeDuc was always in like super hot angles, but he was only there for I think like a few months, or it seemed like it anyway.
Well, I was in the back. I was looking for Eddie Marlin back there in the back, and I hadn't found him yet. And
Tommy Rich looking like a damn superstar.
This may not be the time to even say nothing about it. I don't know, but I've always said what I felt, and that's got me in trouble sometimes. And
I feel like this is an outfit Glenn Lawrence would wear.
But in this situation, I talked to Eddie Marlin before I come back, and talking to Eddie Marlin, and negotiating and everything. My whole deal was that I had the understanding that when Nick Bockwinkel, when he come to town, that I'd be in line to have a shot at the world heavyweight title. Myself, I've held the world heavyweight title.
Yes, I know that.
I beat Harley Race for it, and I'm not taking nothing away from you, Jerry Lawler. I mean, I think you're one heck of a wrestler, and all I'm saying is, I was.
Now, Tommy, we can all question Tommy Rich's hair and his outfit, fair enough. But when it comes to the Rats, Tommy Rich, way up there.
Had the understanding that when I come back to the area, when Bockwinkel got here, that I would have a shot at the world title. And as it seems now, Jerry Lawler's got the shot, and Jerry Lawler's wrestled Nick Bockwinkel a dozen times right here in Memphis, and Lawler's never won the title. He had never beat Nick Bockwinkel.
That's true. He is not.
I don't even understand really how you tell somebody to what do you say to the stylist when you're asking for this haircut? Like, I don't, it's okay. I'm pointing with my hand. This part here confuses me, especially when you see it when he turns into Lance Russell.
Never won
All I'm saying.
Like, I don't understand it. Like, I get the bangs if you want like the close, right on your eyebrows bangs. But like, what's going on here? What's the motivation? It looks like if you kept it going, it'd just be like a baseball helmet.
All I'm saying is, is just that Eddie Marlin told me that I'd get a shot at Nick Bockwinkel. Lawler had never beat the world heavyweight champion. I've beat the world heavyweight champion. So, I mean,
Well, there are some other titles around here, though, Tommy, that I know that might interest you. Of course, the international title that Big Bubba has, the Southern Heavyweight title. So, you know, we're not without title shots, and I think you've got some matches coming up in the future that'll be of interest to you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I've got some big matches. That's not what I'm saying. All I'm saying is, you know, Jerry Lawler, he's never beat Nick Bockwinkel. How many times he wrestled him?
Well, several, no question about that.
Make it
He's
straight
never
but
won the
crooked
title.
while being
Yes,
straight.
sir. He's never won the title.
What's
That's
up,
all
Night
I'm
Jigger?
saying, you know.
Well,
and, I'll just talk to Eddie.
Okay, maybe Eddie is
Oh my
something
God.
you can get with Eddie.
You think he looks like the little girl from Poltergeist? We need somebody in the crowd when he first goes to be like, they're here.
And get it straightened out. Wildfire, Tommy Rich, and by golly,
Pont Flair's getting hot at all this.
do, among them being the fact that he beat Harley Race for the World Heavyweight
shit.
Championship.
We're getting a match too. Nice.
We're ready to go, Dave, with this next action.
Wildfire in the ring and stepping up onto the apron right now.
Oh my God! Do you think a rat cut his hair? Oh, I bet you're right. That could be. That was. You would want to get a rat that had some like tangible, like fringe benefits.
Out of Memphis, Tennessee, it is Keith Eric. Keith weighing in at 206 pounds. Tommy Rich, originally out of Hendersonville, Tennessee, 237 pounds. Down to the mat goes Keith Eric. Well, Eric says, hey, he pulled my hair. He didn't, actually.
Oh, this is the Billy Jack
Eric
Haynes
may be
guy.
convinced he did pull his hair. He took him down to the mat easily. He just forces him down to the mat again. Tommy Rich.
Or he could be copping out.
I suspect that maybe is more likely, don't you think?
What it is, yes.
Keith Eric using the ropes. That's a good move. You know, get your opponent away from you if you have to use those ropes. Top wrist lock by Tommy Rich. Hair pulling there, but by Keith Eric as he yanked Tommy Rich's hair.
Now, Rich, you get bad with you if you want to. Mr. Eric?
What do you think about the Billy Jack Haynes outfit? I feel like that really, like, makes him memorable to me. Like, I almost kind of root for him sometimes because I think of him as, like, the Memphis Billy Jack Haynes.
If you would like to get into that and a little more, Wildfire
She died
will
in
be
1988.
glad to oblige you. Standing side
So it could be her. This is 86.
headlock. Once again,
Come on,
Eric
Ref.
reaches up and jerks that hair of Tommy Rich.
Tommy a bit upset about it. You got to wonder
Come
how
on,
long he's going to
Ref.
put up with that, and I don't think long.
No. I think you are right.
Hey, there's a return, huh? A little payback. Tommy Rich yanks Keith Eric's hair that time for real. Puts him down to the mat and bars the left arm. A minute. Sorry?
Tommy immediately
My favorite
went into
rap.
that arm bar, cuts it loose, drops on it. So he's had a series of it going with Keith Eric. Got him stirred up. A minute, what?
He almost looks like a wrestling judge. Like he's got a powdered wig on.
It was a minute 25. Coming up now, a minute 40 seconds into the action. Been good action so far.
Keith Eric's a scrapper, no doubt. I in all honesty, with Tommy in there, I don't think I'd put my money on him. I'd have to go with the favorite in the match, but Eric is a doggone good scrapper. And he just felt a little side mare snapping over there. Look at this.
Oh, shit.
One
What if he
count
would have
on
got
Tommy
him?
Rich. Again.
That's the case where Eric's using Tommy Rich's own weight as he rolls those shoulders down and had enough of Tommy's body weight up in the air over the shoulders that he was trying to hold him for a 3 count. Just couldn't quite do it, though.
Something a child would do to a doll. I don't think I've seen that, but that absolutely is what it looks like, kind of. Parliament Tommy Rich, yeah.
Tommy Rich. Gets him into the rope. Got him with a right hand to the midsection coming off of there. Lower leg, across the top of the head, and a cover by Tommy Rich. Keith Eric kicks out at the 2 count. Now we're 2 minutes 45 seconds into the action. So far it's been mostly Tommy Rich. Keith
Oh
Eric
my! Did you hear that pump
making a move
flow?
now and then, but Tommy with a face
Yes, Quaker Oats Riz. He's a pilgrim.
block pretty well has him tied up right now. Eric again goes to the rope, steps over, using those ropes, which will cause the referee to come over and force Tommy to break the hold, which he does.
Listen to the crowd for him, though.
Mr. Eric backs Tommy Rich onto the rope. Oh.
Get him, Billy Jack.
Using the fist, the upper arm. Into the ropes goes Wildfire Tommy Rich, and staggered coming off of there by Keith Eric.
Put him in the full Nelson.
Eric doing some hair pulling. A headbutt. Down to the mat goes Tommy Rich, a cover by Eric. He can't even hold him for a 1 count, though, before Tommy Rich flipped him away.
Oh!
Cover by Rich. Count is 1. At the 2 count, he kicks out.
Elbow puts Keith Eric down on the deck one more time. Whip. There's that flying press. 1, 2, 3. He got it.
That did it for him right there. 4 minutes.
Oh, man. Poor Billy Jack. He got beat with a fucking flying teabag.
The time on it, and Tommy Wildfire Rich gets the victory over Keith Eric.
Yowza. What we're going to do is take time out, and we will be back in just 1 moment.
Oh, my Lord.
Okay, we're going to be back into the action, and when we do get back there, by golly, you're going to see exactly what happened in an incident in there. Before we get to that, and I bring Jeff and Billy out here, want to remind you again a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays from all of the folks involved with Championship Wrestling. We hope it's a good one, and we'll be looking.
Remember my Christmas episode from last year, and it was like the most depressing. We watched the one about the guy dying. What did he die of? In a plane crash? And he's saying Tears in Heaven. And then we watched that couple like get a divorce on Christmas morning on a police body cam. And then that depressing Morton Downey episode about homeless people.
Looking for you to come back out on Wednesday, January the 7th. That's the next action in the Evansville Coliseum for Championship Wrestling. Well, let me get them in here. Billy Travis, Jeff Jarrett. Incidents coming up here in just a minute, gentlemen. It's a little sore to remind everybody about, but it's something that's happened, and I know you've learned a valuable lesson from it.
I got a shield
Jeff,
against
you
the
no
Jarretts.
longer have the AWA Southern Tag belts, and Rock and Roll RPM now have possession of it.
That's right, Lance. The people will be saying it just in 1 second. Me and
Hold on, the Rock and Roll RPMs are the tag champs now? That's interesting.
Billy have talked it over, and we're deciding we're not going to make that mistake.
I just think the RPMs are a much cooler team. Our hair sucks, Lance. My grandfather, Eddie Marlin, keeps striking this guy's channel, and I've had enough of it, Lance. Tell him, Billy.
And Mike Davis, I don't care what he says, he whopped you upside the head with something.
You better believe it, Lance, and I know what it was. The people know who the real Southern Tag Team Champions are. They've seen what happened. Millions of people have seen what happened. We know we're the real champions. So when we get to Evansville, Indiana, Rock and Roll RPMs, you're going to have to go to the King's Furniture Store and get you a couple beds because we're going to bust those heads for you.
Well, I know it's one of those things that you wish hadn't happened, but maybe good things will come out of it in the future. You guys are a great team. I think you got a great future ahead of you, and good luck to you. Jeff Jarrett, Billy Travis.
Team.
We hope maybe you'll make it a point to put it down on your calendar. After you've had
Billy
a
Travis?
super Christmas, a great New Year's, come on out Wednesday, January the 7th, Evansville Coliseum.
What's up,
That's
Ken?
when the fireworks begin all over again.
King, didn't you have some news? Oh, no, I'm not doing that. Sorry, I know there's something in that video that Anthem would claim they owned.
We are delighted to see. I'm excited about these guys. They are young, and brother, they've taken it to everybody. Jeff, my boy, good to see you. Glad to have you here. And there's the other champ, Billy Travis.
Well, now they've got the tag team titles.
All right.
We are tickled to death to have you here and an opportunity to talk to you a little bit about the Southern titles. I know, and we were saying just a moment ago, regardless of who it's been, you guys have not failed to take it to him. You're not backing down from
That's
anybody.
right, Lance. I've told you before. We've talked about it. We're not closet champions. We'll put it up against anybody. But in the coming week, we got a match against the RPMs. You know that.
Yeah.
And there's so-called the original rock and rollers, and I don't think any of these people believe that.
Well, we haven't been able to find any evidence
That's right.
about them.
And they said they were going to take care of the Fabs. They surely didn't do that. And so I'm not so sure that they deserve.
Billy Travis looks like a guy who would play the new fish in a prison movie.
The shot. You know, I think there's some other teams in this area that should have the chance, I think, against these titles. But
one thing you're not. Wait. Come on, you guys now.
There's no time left. What do you mean? You're out here running your mouth, saying we don't deserve no title shot, saying we didn't take care of the Fabs. You didn't take care of the Fabs.
Hey, we're here the Fabs are, Daddy.
hey,
I'm going to tell you what, big boy, if you're so tough,
You guys settle down.
hey, this is IMG time.
if you're so tough, Jeff Billy Travis,
Disclaimer, yes.
we don't have to wait to go anywhere. We don't have to wait to go to the arena. Why don't you put those titles up right now? Come on now.
We didn't bring our own today.
Do you need tights to wrestle, Jeff Jarrett? You gotta have tights. You gotta have boots. Be a man instead of a man.
Now, that one guy in this tag team's been pretty entertaining. He says a lot of out-of-pocket shit, gets real worked up.
Or this stuff. Forget it. They got no business.
You don't worry about here, big boy.
Hey. Come on. Now, you guys got a match coming up.
Hey, Lance, we came by here today to do an interview. We didn't bring our tights to wrestle.
Now, just stay back.
What's the matter, Jack?
Here
You're
he goes.
gutless, and he's gutless. That's what it is. You want to come out here and run your mouth about we're the Southern Tag Team Champions? Put the belts on the line, kid. Put the belts
Oh,
on the
here's
line.
stepping up to him. Oh, shit.
I don't care about what the title match is. I don't care what it is. I want it right now.
Oh, hey, fine. Great. Don't listen to
Put up and shut up,
Don't
kid.
listen to him.
Put up and shut up, Russell. Let's put up and shut up.
Ooh. Oh, shit. Here we go.
Wait a minute. Are you sure this is what you want to do? I mean, you know, let's don't get carried away, Jerry.
This is the guy in the tag team that I like, the mini Dr. D.
The belts are on the line.
These are on the line.
The belts are on the line.
I got to tell you, that's dumb.
Don't do
Belts
it.
are on the line, Daddy.
Mistake.
Yeah, you're absolutely
Blonde
right.
Rumble.
Yeah, but Billy put the boat down. Count of one is all he gets. Whoa, look at him go.
Can we get a Mattel website exclusive of Billy Joe Travis and Jeff Jarrett in the stonewashed jeans for the bunkhouse brawl?
Did I understand right? The belts are on the line?
Yes, sir. That's what referee Jerry Calhoun said. And Jeff and Billy, they let
Maniac Mike Davis. I'll have to look him up.
themselves get bagged into it. And that is, there's a lot of things that are a benefit of youth, but that's one of the problems. They tend to be a little hot-headed and less cautious than might be good for your health or your future. They
Shockmaster
just
vibe.
jumped up in the ring and said, yeah, we'll put them up. Why wait? Wow, and I don't know what about the time, Dave. We will just...
Yeah, we're supposed to have an hour time limit for championship matches, but we often have a special time by agreement with both teams for television.
Normally
here,
30
so-
minutes, but we
Yeah,
don't
this
even
is-
have
no.
30 minutes, I don't believe, left for this match.
Well, I guess we'll just go as long as there's time.
I feel like a lot of Memphis, at least in '86, has had kind of Shockmaster vibes, but unlike Shockmaster, like it seems to work. Like most of the time. There have been some flops, but not too many.
Make it expiration of time and see what comes down here.
Mr. Universe, I kind of would say he was one of the biggest flops of 1986 in Memphis.
Jeff Jarrett and Tommy Lane, that's who he's in there with. Sometimes we take it for granted that all of you folks watch every week the way we do. That is the Rock and Roll RPM. In the ring is Tommy Lane. On the outside is Mike Davis.
He was in Global.
And of course, they're going against the AWA Southern Tag Champions, Jeff Jarrett and Billy Travis.
Oh, I knew who you. Yeah, I knew who you meant. I was just saying, like, I'll have to find some of his other stuff. For a team that's getting the tag team that was getting a tag team title push, we really haven't seen a whole lot of them.
Mike Davis in here against Jeff Jarrett now.
But I guess in this system, like, you don't always have like 6 months to build a feud or whatever. You've just got to run with the time you have.
I might point out too, I'm sure most people.
You wonder if Shockmaster would have worked? Absolutely not. In fact, if Shockmaster had just happened and flopped naturally, no one would have given a shit, really. It would have been just another, like, thing. I think the best possible outcome for the Shockmaster legacy was for what happened on our timeline to happen, in my opinion. I think spectacle and surreality and, like, vibe are more important than, like, if he had just competently done the character and, you know, it was okay. Even if it was, like, okay, like, it just would have been boring to me. I think it's better this way.
Have noticed in some respects it could be an advantage and others a disadvantage. Billy and Jeff are both in boots, regular street boots. And I would think that the footing would not be as sure. It might be an advantage if you're throwing a...
So to understand, King TL, you've been flirting with ATF Media, the guy that's into all the farting. Hey, what's up, Avery? I didn't see your message, sorry. You've been flirting with ATF Media, the person who likes the farting and the taint stuff?
Drop kick or a side kick, something like that. Travis popping that elbow down. Tags Jeff again.
And let's say he even did come out. You still have Ole's voice, which was a disaster in and of itself. Like, you know what I mean?
Mike Davis, the victim as Jeff Jarrett comes off the middle rope.
I mean, as far as being used right, he should have never left Memphis. I mean, I understand there's no money in it, and you could not everybody can just linger in Memphis forever, but, like, I love how they've used him here. I think they've used him far better than anywhere else that I've seen. I mean, he got a big push, kind of, because he was paired with Hogan, but I mean, he was still just like a sidekick. Here, he's like a monster heel, a belt collector. He's a badass.
Billy Travis letting that right hand sneak in there, too.
In Continental Wrestling, I've been looking up Continental, and then I'm trying to find more. I think it's called Southeastern Championship Wrestling. I just scanned a little bit of that, and it looked kind of interesting. It's just finding enough episodes that we can do it, like, for an extended number of weeks. Thanks, Kitchen Man Dan, you too.
Billy makes the tag on Jeff.
They're really moving in and out of.
Do you think Vince saw these guys in the stonewashed jeans and was like, this is where he came up with the smoking guns?
There, Dave.
Well, they sure are.
Tagging well.
Mike Davis of the Rock and Roll RPM over near his corner now. He does not go for the tag on partner Tommy Lane while he's there. Hammered Jeff.
Dan, did you wish Grace a happy Valentine's Day? Also, what do you think about, Dan, what do you think about the claims from Showtime that he suspects you had a secret meetup with the Thorpes?
For the upper arm. Backbreaker blocker by Tommy Lane, and Jeff Jarrett left lying in the ring. Lane really hammered him into the turnbuckle. RPMs make a tag. Mike Davis, the taller of the two, in there now. Crowd behind Jeff Jarrett. Go, Jeff, go, as Mike Davis drops down with an upper arm.
You didn't realize this was a press conference?
There's a cover. Count is 2.
All these old videos are like, it's all just a front. This is a honeypot for me to, for my investigative journalism. I saw that you were being canceled for saying the N-word, and then for subsequently doubling down and saying it. And I saw Rich, I don't know where the post was made, but I saw that Rich made a thing like kind of defending you. And I thought the way that he phrased it, it was kind of like it was just really fun. I thought it was funny how his like defense of you was worded.
2 count by Rock and Roll RPM.
Uh-oh, here comes ATF Media to fart on King TL's taint.
I was thinking about Billy and Jeff in there. I think if you ask the coach of any team, whether it be football, basketball, baseball, whatever, they will say, give me the pure athlete first. Let me have a guy who is an athlete, and I think that's what you have in this case. Jeff Jarrett, certainly an outstanding athlete. Billy Travis, an excellent athlete in his own right. A little more experience in wrestling, a little bigger. But they're both young and brash, and they are the champions right now. The more experienced Rock and Roll RPM trying to take those titles away in an impromptu match. Jeff and Billy in street clothes, and they're ready to get it on, and that's where we are right now.
Yeah, King TL and Dan are kind of one of the few in the modern era of the Panelverse. They're like a tag team that's actually kind of stuck together. They do have their own individual arcs, but like they've stuck together as a tag team pretty well.
Southern Tag Team belts at stake here. There, Billy Travis over on the right, cheering on his partner, Jeff Jarrett. Tommy Lane really keeping Jeff tied up. Now here's Jeff trying to get back up on his feet. Tommy Lane looks him across the eyes.
His new wife.
Reversal by Jeff Jarrett. Well, but Tommy Lane moved out of the corner, and Jeff went in there hard. Jeff battling. Look at this. Ooh, Davis. He suplexed him down hard.
These guys are good themselves. Rock and Roll RPM. Give them the credit.
Oh my God. You know what? 989 Studios, you're saying it reminds you of a wrestler quote. You have all the talent in the world, but things get better when you're blonde and blue-eyed. Jimmy, James Edward Holden, has been making posts recently that he thinks he made one today saying that like the reason he's alone on Valentine's Day is because he has brown hair and brown eyes, and that Jewish people won't let him have love in his life because he has brown hair and brown eyes. So some people take that like to the extreme, the whole blonde hair, blue-eyed being valued.
They've worked very well together.
I need to look at ACW. Where's that out of? ACW. Based in North Carolina in the mid-'80s. That's not, I'm thinking of Mid-Atlantic. I found a friend of mine found one. It was, oh shoot, what the fuck was the name of it? It was like, it was really wacky. I know it's not Atlantis. I don't know why I'm giving it like supernatural elements, but I don't know. There was another one that had a real funky, cool sounding name.
Well, right now, the pair of them working on Jeff Jarrett. Jeff trying to crawl across and
Dirty Roads, the RPM, and Big Bubba, managed by J.D. Costello. That would be pretty intense.
tag Billy. Snapped over the shoulder. Knee right to the middle of the back. And then Lane chin-locked him.
We're about 6 minutes, 20 seconds into the action here. Championship match.
You've been watching wrestling on Netflix. You're actually enjoying it sometimes. Well, that's good. I like it being on Netflix, and I especially like AEW being on Max because that makes it like so much easier just to like casually tune in.
Southern tag belts on the line.
What was the rest of the name of it though? It was like I don't know. Hold on, I'll look it up.
We didn't have the match. Yeah, we didn't have the match booked at the beginning of the day, but the challenge was made, and Jeff and Billy accepted, and they put the belts on the line, and we're in the middle of it right now.
We got about 3 minutes to go in terms of time. Down on the deck. Tommy Lane with Jeff Jarrett.
Billy Travis
Go, Jeff, go.
starts the cheerleading over there. He was saying, go, Jeff, go. The crowd picked up on it immediately. Jeff near the tag. He gets it.
Oh, boy.
Here comes Travis. Billy Travis going after both. Rock and roll RPM. Jeff Jarrett back on his feet goes after Davis. All four of them in the ring. Billy Travis slips around behind Tommy Lane, rolls him down, shoulders are down, referee pushing Jeff Jarrett out of the way, the shoulders are down. Billy Travis hit with a right fist by Mike Davis.
He had something in that fist, too. I saw him going into the tights, Dave. He dug something out of there.
Am I gonna watch SmackDown tonight? I don't know. I got a dentist appointment. I might be like just smoke out after.
As a count, 2, 3.
Oh, man.
You saw it, but the 3 count was
The lone RPM fan getting drowned out.
made. And collecting the
was all up there time, boys. Look at that, let's go.
Yeah, I saw exactly how it happened, too. We have new AWA Southern Tag Champions, David.
They do indeed. Here they are. Rock and roll RPM. 7 minutes, 53 seconds of the fall, and they win them from Jeff Jarrett and Billy
Situation,
Travis.
little
Atlantic Grand. Yeah, for some reason I was thinking of it as like. I was thinking Atlantis Intergalactic or Atlantis Galaxian Wrestling.
foolhardy dare that was taken up by Jeff and Billy. They did not have to do that. They
Lol
weren't
cow
prepared
wrestling.
to wrestle. They mentally weren't.
They want to do that, and it would be awful because they want that guy Grimm. I'm like, not. I don't like Grimm's content. To me is just like kid behind the camera. It's like, it's just yeah, not for me.
Set to go in there for a championship match. They didn't have on their wrestling attire or anything else.
You knew they would win based on the stuff and whatnot, correct?
But I think
Left
when it
them
all
laying.
boiled down to it is the question. I think Mike Davis had something in his hand. We got to take time out. Back in a moment. That is that, Dave. As we were talking here during the break, and the fact that guys will come out here and they just, I guess it's that macho thing that's in all of us, that you get the dare, you get the challenge, you get all of that. They can't pass it by and let the cool head prevail. They got to say, jump on up in, yeah, we'll put the belts up, and they come out. That doesn't mean that they want it legitimately.
You don't like Grimm?
But still,
so either,
the
yeah.
Rock and Roll RPMs are the new AWA Southern Tag Champs.
They walked out of here with the belts, no doubt about it. Obviously, Mike Davis had something in his hand, which he hit Billy Travis with. Billy Travis was...
King, did you wish Grace a happy Valentine's Day yet?
was out almost immediately, and then the 3 count followed, and that's it. The belts change hands today, so Rock and Roll RPMs have them. Earlier today, Boy Tony won his match. It was Big Bubba and Goliath, with Downtown Bruno winning their match. The Great Kabuki over Ed Maddox. It was Tommy Rich over Keith Eric, and the one you just saw here, Southern Tag belts change hands as Rock and Roll RPMs defeat the team of Jeff Jarrett and Billy Travis.
We also had maybe the highlight of 1986 when Downtown Bruno stripped to the waist and dazzled us with that set of muscles that he has on that.
Wow,
Hey, we're going to get out of here until next week. For Dave Brown, Lance Russell saying bye-bye, everybody.
Okay, let's see.
Jerry!
Oh, this one's got a little bit different audio tuning to it. So this is the last episode, December 27th, 1986. After this, we're going to watch a Jerry Lawler video, and then I got to go. But this is the last episode, December 27th, 1986, CWA Championship Wrestling from Memphis, as seen if you were watching in Evansville, Indiana. We got to really hold up. We got to really dial in. This is it, the final 1986 episode. It'll be fairly close to noon.
Yowza! Another big day, and we're ready to get it on. Lance Russell and Dave Brown right along ringside and set to go again, David.
You know what, ATF Media, if Lance Russell was truly a journalist, he would bring up this RPM issue with the tag team, but he doesn't.
The opening match today, we're going to have the King in here. He will be going against the Golden Terror. Interesting match. Don't know too much about the Golden Terror, but we'll find out in a few minutes. Also, Big Bubba and Goliath will be in here again as a tag team. Downtown Bruno will be in their corner. We will have Jeff Jarrett and Billy Travis teamed up today in a tag team match. Rock and Roll RPMs will be going against the team of Tracy Smothers and John Paul. That should be a fine one. And then 8-man.
I do go back to my normal time slot though next week, which is like, I don't know, I think like 3.5 hour streams.
And tag team action coming up a little bit later on today in the expiration of time match.
That always provides for wild, unpredictable action going everywhere and all over the studio. We'll be looking for that. Take time out right here. Going to be back, and we'll have Jerry the King Lawler coming in here in just a moment. Of our opening bout, it will be Jerry Lawler going against the Golden.
Look at this guy, the Golden Terror. Oh man, what an icon!
Golden Terror. We've got lots more action coming up here, and obviously,
oh man, he's really got the regalia on for the last match of the year.
King has arrived, David.
This is going to be a one-fall, 10-minute time limit match. Golden Terror already in the ring. He weighs in at about 218 out of parts unknown. And the King, you know him, Memphis, Tennessee, 232 pounds, Jerry Lawler. This match, one fall, 10 minutes.
You like CWA better than USWA? I haven't seen a lot of USWA, but I don't think I ever saw any USWA that I liked as much as what I seen in 86.
A time limit. Jerry Calhoun's the referee.
One fall, 10 minutes in time, and we're about to get it underway here. We do have that big 8-man match that'll be coming up a little later on.
Yeah, I tried to make the most of it while I had the extra time.
Jerry, we're usually seeing him putting the strap down. This time he was putting it up. We got him before he got a little bit ready there, and we're off and running with the opening bout.
Golden Terror finds himself back in the corner. The referee is right there. He wants him out of the corner, off the ropes. Jerry obliges. He feels him out of the corner with that body drag.
I can't even imagine watching yesterday's stream, like starting off with all the Gaza stuff, and then it ends on like slow motion shots of a chick's boobs while she's golfing.
Popped him across the ring. Golden Terror up on his feet. He was walking around the ring. Better be careful. He had Lawler behind him. You don't want to turn your back on the King.
Look at that. Ooh.
Lawler got him with the right hand. Golden Terror right into the boot.
I am free.
Did you hear the guy in the crowd take off the mask? Why? What's with the crowd's obsession with always taking off a mask?
That this is not going to be the most hotly contested battle we've ever seen with Jerry.
I think you're probably right.
Crowd hollering, we want the mask.
They really want the
Upper
mask.
arm by the King. Lawler just totally dominating the match. Count is 1, 2.
I believe that's it.
Minute 12 seconds
The
of time
Golden
on it.
Terror.
It was all Jerry Lawler.
Oh,
Now
look at him.
Lawler
He's
is
going to get
for
the mask.
there. The crowd wanted the mask off. Jerry's going to try to do it, but Golden Terror rolls out of the ring. Jerry decides that.
It's kind of unusual for Jerry to start off quick, too, but today he did. The Golden Terror just did not offer up anything in the resistance on it. Lawler just beat him flat.
There you go. You finally got some taint stuff.
1, 2, 3, and that's all there was to it. So the opening bout goes to the King. 1, 2, 3 over the Golden Terror. A couple of interesting matches that I wanted to show some highlights.
You was with you till around one last thing I saw. Oh, there was tons of stuff after the karaoke videos. My God, we watched a whole Ruby stream after that, I think. Then we watched a series of descendingly degenerate e-girl videos.
Highlights of Dave. One of them had to do with Tommy Wildfire Rich going against the
Wild West Wrestling? No. I'll have to write that down too. I'm getting better about writing things down so I don't forget. Oh, that cop show that Bob Brown told me to watch. They did copyright claim it, but they didn't in the stream, so we could watch those anytime.
internet.
Except for the one that we watched where it just had a bunch of guys bare asses and dicks out on the show.
National heavyweight champion, Big Bubba. Let's take a look at just a minute of the highlights of that bout.
7 minutes past 49 minutes to wrestle. 11 past 49 to wrestle.
Tommy Rich shooting away, and he puts Bubba down on the mat again. He had a couple of pin attempts at him. Kind of 1, 2, and Big Bubba
From the
just
grapplers.
barely bucked him out of there. Rich goes up with a drop kick. Bubba holds on, and Tommy hits the mat hard. And Bubba, staggering around, fired Tommy, and he hit the referee. Bubba misses as he came down with a splash. Frank Morrell still on the deck. Tommy moving up to the second rope as Bubba comes up in the air. He got him with that press. Downtown Bruno up.
Yeah, I have ATF Media. That's we should watch that sometime. This is my notes are an absolute mess. King, were you in here when we watched the Jeffrey Dahmer? It was just a random video of Jeffrey Dahmer in his living room with his family. He was playing with a cat.
Clubs him. Bubba rolls over as the referee, and here comes Lawler. Jerry Lawler jumped in.
Wow.
12:20. The referee rings the bell, and I think they're going to disqualify Rich. That's it. 12 minutes. Yeah, the obviously
There was Frank Morrell.
downtown jumped in there. He had a chain on his hand. Is what he did when he nailed Rich. Lawler came in he saw exactly what happened in there. Bubba was about to get a 1, 2, 3. He stopped that. He's going to tell the referee, and the referee says that's all disqualification, and Big Bubba was the winner in that match.
We watched a blonde girl in a super tight top and then like a camel toe hugging set of like capri leggings. Cook an entire meal, King.
Match over Tommy Rich on a disqualification. Kind of an unfortunate thing the way it went. Another match, and you'll see there's kind of a thread here. I want you to pay attention to this one too, because Jerry the King Lawler went against the great Kabuki. Now let's take a look at some highlights from this match. Oh, shot to the midsection. Lawler going with the elbow as Kabuki and Lawler trade licks. There comes the scrap, and the crowd responds. Jerry firing in with those right hands.
I know.
He's back in the corner.
I don't understand that. Was that the point of the whole thing? Was that he was just trying to keep Tommy Rich from winning the match? That's weird. I don't know. It's Memphis, I guess. It's kind of weird. Is Tommy Rich the baby face and Lawler's the heel, or are they both baby faces?
Yamamoto up on the steps signaling, saying, come on, come on, come on. Billy Travis waiting on.
This is kind of like a Coco Beware-esque reminiscent color pattern.
Goto. Tony Burton, the former Ninja. Jeff Jarrett and Travis, Tracy Smothers. As they're keeping him out of the ring, and Lawler pounding away on Kabuki. Referee Jerry Calhoun's down on the floor. Tommy Rich hollering to the referee, come here, come here.
Oh, no.
Oh, I didn't even see it. Lawler's down.
Mega powers collide moment coming up.
Evidently, Kabuki slammed his head against Rich's 1, 2, 3, and that's going to be it. 7 minutes and 15 seconds. The winner, the great Kabuki. 7:15 time. The winner, the great Kabuki. Kabuki, the winner, is 7:15. Continues to pound on Lawler.
Haystack heartthrob.
Outside the ring, Smothers.
There we go. Oh, no.
Goto, Travis. Lawler with a pile.
There's another one for the Tough Enough video.
Driver drops it on Kabuki. He drilled him good.
Kabuki having a seizure.
Yeah, it still is a mystery to me, Dave, exactly what happened in there. Jeff and Billy Travis and Tracy Smothers and Tommy Rich were all down there to be certain that Tojo didn't, as he ended up calling, have some of his guys jump in the ring. Now, that's what happened the last time that Kabuki and Lawler met in there. So they were out there. We have had a lot of conversation. I didn't see it. I was watching the action in the crowd in there. Some of the people at ringside told me that Rich hit him with his elbow. I couldn't see it on the tape.
I couldn't tell from that either.
Yeah. And so anyhow, I don't know exactly what happened on it. Tommy Rich had some comments to make about it. Let's listen to Tommy.
You know, Monday night in Memphis, a few things happened that was really strange. You know, Eddie Marlin, I talked to him about a shot at the world heavyweight title, and he said that he'd signed Lawler. Well, I don't know if Lawler's insecure or thinks he's washed up in wrestling or what the deal is, but I had an international title shot against Big Bubba, and I'm sure all you people seen it, and what happens? You know, Mr. Insecure himself, or, you know, he comes down to the ring. I got Big Bubba going, got him pinned, climbed up on the second rope, hit him with the Thez press. He was down for the count. Bruno comes in and hits me in the back of the head, and Big Bubba rolls over on me. Well, who takes it upon themselves to run down in my match? The King, Jerry Lawler, wants to run down, and I don't know if it was a conspiracy on your part, Lawler, if you knew that if I beat him, Eddie Marlin would have to think about maybe giving Tommy Rich the title shot, because if I had the international title, I would be the man next.
You wonder if he ever got the producer chick? I doubt it.
in line. So I don't know if that's what the deal was or what you've got in your mind, Lawler, if you think you're really washed up or not. And then I come down, Lawler, he cries the blues again. He's scared the Japs is going to run in and help Kabuki. And so what happens, the referee gets knocked down. I jumped up on the apron to see if Lawler was okay. I turned my head because here come the Japs. And being the clumsy clutch you are, run right into the back of me and knock me off to the apron. And, I just don't understand, Lawler. I think I should be the man to have a shot at the world heavyweight title. Nick Bockwinkel has it. I beat Harley Race 3 or 4 years ago. I beat him for the world heavyweight title right there in Atlanta, Georgia. Lawler, you've wrestled for the title shot 10, 12 times. Have you ever won it? No, you hadn't. You beat Nick Bockwinkel one time. I went through the records. You beat him one time, but I checked. You never walked out with the gold. In Atlanta, Georgia, just like I said, I walked out with the gold. And I think in my heart, with all of my heart, and all them people out there, too, told me, said Tommy Rich ought to have that world heavyweight title shot. When I didn't get the international title, kind of knocked me out. But I still think that I ought to be the man going after the gold. Memphis,
former NWA world champion Tommy Rich.
Tennessee, you need a new winner, and I think that I can beat Nick Bockwinkel.
Some big action coming up here right here on Championship Wrestling. I'm going to be looking forward to getting back into that because I got to tell you what, an incident comes up in just a few minutes that has never happened before to us on Championship Wrestling. Now, friend, that covers a lot of wrestling programs, but I think you're going to want to stay tuned and see this because this is a son of a gun, something that really took us by surprise, and, of course, we'll be getting to that in just a moment. I think obviously, that the action is...
You think he's trying to keep he knows that if Wildfire gets a chance, he's going to start running shit, so he's got to keep him from coming through the glass ceiling.
It's going to be coming up on January the 7th next in Evansville. That's right. The Coliseum will be on.
Yeah, he did keep pressuring him multiple times to take his clothing off.
On January.
And the caller just wanted the hat off, and that was it.
January the 7th. You got it? That's when Championship Wrestling will be hitting Evansville again. Now, Hopkinsville, they've got some coming. If you want to do a little driving, you may live closer down towards Hopkinsville watching this. Friday, January the 2nd at the Convention Center at the Western Kentucky State Fairgrounds. One of the matches, they got a whale of a card, by the way, coming up down there. One of the matches is going to be an AWA Southern Tag title match. This is going to have Jeff Jarrett and Billy Travis going against the Rock and Roll RPM. Jeff and Billy want to get you in here. I think on the show we had a chance to talk a little bit about it, and you were talking something in regards to the two referees for a match with a Rock and Roll RPM, Jeff.
That's right, Lance. You sort of know how this came about. They came out on TV right there. We were doing an interview, and they came out and goaded us into a match, and we got in the match, and Mike Davis pulled something out of his tights.
And the title was up.
The title was up. We lost the belts in that match, and then we had another return match with them, and the referee came in the ring and counted 1, 2, 3. He counted Billy out. I was the legal man in. And
in defense of the referee, he had been knocked out of the ring.
That's right.
So there really wasn't, he was just kind of a little goofy on
He didn't really, that's right. He didn't know what was going on. This time we have two referees, and we'll get him. Hope we can get the
good luck. I'd like to see that.
Well, he only had it for 6 days, but, that was a time when, having it at all, it carried so much weight. That's really something you could stand on for quite a while. Not so much anymore, being the NWA champ.
Boogie! We got some action. It'll be in the ring before we get to it, though.
Sorry, Lance.
We must take time out for the Pittsburgh connection. Boy, you are really bubbling today.
Wait. First of all, shut these hillbilly deep stuff. Second of all, I'm sick and tired of hearing you week after week, day after day, time after time calling it the Pittsburgh connection. It's not the Pittsburgh connection. It's the downtown connection. There is a difference, brother, because I'm not from Shadyside. I'm not from North Hills. I'm from downtown Pittsburgh, baby. Now, let me talk about the Memphis Mice. We're talking about Jerry Bryant and the Brown Clown Mambo Lip Lou Winston. Let me tell you something, guys. Now you know. Now you know what kind of professional wrestler I am. Now you know how bad I am. Now you know how tough I am. Now And like I said, anytime, any way, any place, another match. I want it. I need it. I want you in that ring because I didn't finish the job. I'm going to hurt you. I'm going to make you suffer. Now I hear something about it.
You have another match that will be around.
Yeah.
It'll be the Memphis Vice, Brian and Winston, and a mystery partner.
And a mystery partner. See, okay. Now, first of all, we don't need no mystery. We got the mighty 417-pound Goliath. We got the mighty 407-pound Big Bob, and we got Downtown Bruno, 135 pounds of walking, talking, roping, stomping, downtown destruction. Okay. Now I want to know. Hey, I know. I'll tell you.
I think it's just Downtown Bruno's thing. He's from there, and it pisses off the Southerners if you're not if you're not from the South. So I just think being from Pittsburgh pisses these people off just in general.
I want to know who this mystery partner is, okay? Because we want to know, and I know you have a
The
lot
gloves.
of pull around here. I know you always got your nebby nose into everybody's business. So you tell me who the mystery partner is.
Bruno, I do not know.
What, you gonna stand here and lie to me?
Well, hey, look, I'm telling you, it says right on here, it says Memphis Vice and mystery partner.
Yeah, that's what it says on there. But you're always getting your nebby nose in everybody else's business, and I know that you're, hey, tell me the truth. Is it Lawler? Is Lawler the mystery partner?
I don't know.
Wait, what are you standing here and lying to me for? I'm tired of you standing there. Wait a minute. Okay, who is it? Is it David Razor? Is it David Razor? Is that who it is? Who is it? Wait.
How many times do I have to tell you? I do
Until you
not
quit
know.
lying. Are they bringing some brown clown in from Pittsburgh?
I don't.
Who is it? Hey,
It may be an old.
Hey, and if they're using
nemesis
some
of yours.
Yeah. In fact, it might be, but I don't know. Hey, who are they bringing in?
I don't
Who is
know.
the mystery partner?
It's got you worried.
No, it's got me mad because you're standing here lying to me, brother. He's standing here lying to me because we want to know who this mystery partner is so we can train right. And you're going to stand here and look me in the eye and you're going to lie to me? You're going to lie to
Looking you in
me?
the eye, telling you I don't know who it is, Bruno. Now, let's not just drag
Well, I'm a
this
little
thing
bit
out.
disgusted. I'm going to tell you something. There's a lot of people. Tracy Smothers, Pat Tanaka.
That was Tracy Smothers' promos in this company too. At first, he was like, "Well, I'm gonna go out there and do my best, man. I'm gonna put it all out there and hopefully come out on top. And if not, man, then I understand, man. I'm gonna get out of here, Lance Russell."
Paul Diamond. These guys are on top, huh?
could
Guys
be
like
any of
this
them. I
are a
don't know.
dime a dozen. Guys like this are a dime a dozen. Jeff Jarrett, Billy Travis, guys like this are a nickel a dozen. I could buy 15 of them and 25 more like them if I wanted to.
And I feel like this crowd is kind of open to the good guys not being so generic, like Lawler cheats all the time and says out of pocket stuff, and they stick with him. So I think he could be a little more lively.
But we don't need no mystery because I'm Downtown Bruno and I'm one heck of a wrestler by myself. And these two are so great, I might not even need to get in a ring.
Yeah, that might be.
I want to know who this mystery partner is.
I don't know. And look, you
you're
guys
a
got a
liar.
match coming up here. You'll face it when you get to it.
You lie like a cheap watch. Why don't you go back?
You lie like a cheap watch.
Come on, will you guys please go to
And
the...
by the way, FORTDUQESNE, not 42 nothing hillbillies.
Fort Duquesne downtown. Okay, Dave, let's get at it.
I think Downtown Bruno has improved massively. Right now it looks like he just crawled out of a dumpster into the studio, but he's more comfortable. It seems like he's talking a more natural type of shit than trying to do wrestling cliche phrases like he was at first. Brickhouse Brown quits the stud stable. Well, I bet if I live long enough, we'll probably watch all of them.
All right, it's going to be a one-fall, 10-minute time limit tag team match. Introducing at a total of 451 pounds from Memphis, Tennessee, Ed Maddox, and from Tupelo, Mississippi, Dennis Upton. Going against them at 824 pounds. From Atlanta, Georgia, Big Bubba. From downtown Pittsburgh in the ring right now, it is Goliath. Downtown Bruno in their corner. No Downtown Bruno at our table, unfortunately.
Seeing this guy in here, what's his name? What's his brown clown's name? Maddox, something like that?
That is Ed Maddox.
Seeing him in there makes me wonder what really happened to the money that they raised for USA for
Oh,
Africa.
there we go.
I mean, look
That's
at this
what-
guy. I tell you what. If he had white
You pay
hair.
attention and
If
stay
that
up here.
guy had
Right?
white
We don't
hair,
need a
if
conversation.
that guy had white hair, we could use him for a Q-tip. If he wore a metal hat, we could use him for a nail. Look at that guy. He can tread water in a hose. He doesn't belong in a ring. And look at that other pathetic excuse for a human being. That makes me wonder where the money went for Farm Aid. Look at these two
Hate
clowns
crime.
here. They got the nerve to get in the ring with my downtown connection.
I have very little Brickhouse Brown experience other than he had that Remember he had that show on High Spots a long time ago where he would do like he was doing different shoot interview type stuff. That's pretty much all I know about him.
They got the nerve. Look at this guy. He's getting beat so
Fart on
bad.
his
He's going to be
afro.
on the floor looking up, brother. This is disgusting. Now, here comes this other pathetic excuse for a professional wrestler. This man's not a wrestler. This man's a scrub. This man thinks he can come and get an easy payday. Well, he knows he's going to get beat. What he didn't count on is getting humiliated, destroyed, and hurt. Maybe crippled, maybe for life. Look at this guy. He's going to be working in a car wash next week somewhere in Memphis. I don't know. Look at it.
Dennis Upton in with Big Bubba.
For a nail.
Let's see this.
He can tread water.
I want to see this whole thing. I am floored by the difference between this dude here and when he was in the big companies. Holy shit.
In a hose. He doesn't belong in a ring. Look at another pathetic excuse for a human being. That makes me wonder where the money went for Farm Aid. Look at these two clowns in here. They got the nerve to get in the ring with my downtown connection. They got the nerve. Look at this guy. He's getting beat so bad. I tell you what, he's going to be on the floor looking up, brother. This is disgusting. Now, here comes this other pathetic excuse
here
for
we
a professional
go.
wrestler. This man's not a wrestler. This man's a scrub. This man
Let's
thinks he can come
go.
and get an easy payday. Well, he knows he's going to get beat. What he didn't count on is getting humiliated, destroyed, and hurt. Maybe crippled, maybe for life.
If you notice the way he laid that in, he's not giving these guys an opportunity to not sell. Did you see the force he put into that? I'm sorry, I got to see that one more time.
This man's not a wrestler. This man's a scrub. This
Watch
man
it.
thinks he can
This
come
is
and get an
nuts.
easy payday. Well, he knows he's going to get beat. What he didn't count on is getting humiliated, destroyed, and hurt.
Good
maybe
Lord.
crippled, maybe for life. Look at this guy. He's going to be working in a car wash next week somewhere in Memphis. I don't know. Look at it.
Dennis Upton in with Big Bubba.
You know what I
Crippled for
feel
life.
about Dennis Uptown because I'm downtown. Downtown, not that uptown garbage. I'm tired of it.
Amazing.
Well, you're no more tired of him
man.
than we are of you downtown. Running that mouth. Dennis Upton.
Give me a break. Look at him trying
The
to
only
come
thing I
back.
will say with Bruno, and he has nothing to do with it except that he's got them together, is that Ed Maddox and Upton are both outclassed with Big Bubba and Goliath. That's it. 1, 2, 3, Dave. What kind of time do we?
That's
That
it.
was a minute 37 seconds. 1:37. Big Bubba and Goliath, as expected, totally controlling the match and winning it handily in just a little over a minute and a half.
Yowza! They did, in fact, take it into camp, and now they're helping Dennis back. Boy, I'll tell you, when you stop and look at the size of somebody like Bubba or Goliath, and just think about them dropping with an elbow or hitting you with a splash in there. Believe me, you can get hurt and get hurt plenty. Okay, the winners, Big Bubba and Goliath, and thus Downtown Bruno goes running off very happy, I'm sure. I hear the crowd hollering. Now I know why. Here they come. Pardon me, Jerry Bryant. Big Lou Winston, the Memphis Vice. Jerry, Lou.
How you doing today?
Oh, man, that was a great match, though. I really like those squash matches.
Cold, but outside of that, in the pink.
The mystery part, and that's what it's all about today, right?
Hey, he's driving.
Just the ease that Fred Ottman picks these guys up with, and these are not small guys. They might be jobbers, but like they're fairly big dudes. I mean, he picks them up like they're just nothing. Like a body slam isn't a body slam. Like how you do it matters, and like it just looks so effortless. It makes him just look like he's like Thor or something.
Be crazy. Will you
Look at this guy.
tell us who the mystery partner is, for crying out loud? Bruno is standing out here ready to climb my frame. What do you mean you don't know? You're going into a match and you don't know who your partner's going
That's
to
what
be?
we're kind of out here today for, is find out who our mystery partner is going to be. You know what I mean? Let me ask the audience, let me ask y'all a question out there now. How many people out there think they can whoop Downtown Bruno? Huh?
How many people think they could whoop him?
What's that got to do with
I want to
it?
ask another question. I want y'all to listen real careful. Real carefully, I want y'all to listen to this. How many people out there would like to have the chance to whoop Downtown Bruno? Huh?
Oh my gosh, look at all the people that
Now,
want
wait
to
a
fight
minute.
him.
I'm getting a glimmer. You guys don't know who your partner is?
Oh man, can you imagine getting to fight Downtown Bruno?
And you're asking questions like that.
Imagine if you've got that kind of heat that everyone in the building is like, yeah, I'll fight that guy.
Just in a few short minutes, we're going to find out who our mystery partner will be, right?
Okay, what we want to do is make the ultimate fool out of downtown Bruno by showing him somebody out here in this audience can beat his brains out.
This is a weird... I don't know how I feel about this shirt. It's just awkward. And then this one maybe looks even worse. This looks like they imprinted it like 100 times on top of each other.
Have you guys talked to Eddie Marlin about this?
We ain't worried about all that. We come out here to pick out a partner to make a fool out of downtown Bruno. And I promise you, somebody out here in this audience is fixing to be the Memphis Vice partner. Let us go pick out.
You're not serious about that. Davey, can we switch microphones here and let me borrow you? Yeah, I'm going to walk over here with it. Hey. 5'11". I think I'm better off with mine. I'm going back to my microphone. I think it's got a longer cord. 511 pounds. Let me see how far I can get over here. Well, that's all the farther I can go. I can say, wait a minute, there. Hey! Are you guys? I'm not a chauvinist, but that's a girl. That's a lady. Hey, come on now. Are you serious? You guys serious?
We love it. This is the ultimate.
Wait, I'm sorry. Lou, let's step around here. We're going to be shooting right across the ring here.
What's your name?
Emily.
Wait a minute. What
Emily.
Emily Arthur.
Emily Arthur. You know what you did. You put your hand up and said, I can beat downtown Bruno and give me a chance.
Emily, I promise you.
What if they shot a member and Bruno shot on them?
Dumbo 1 and Dumbo 2 will not touch you. We'll keep. I promise
King TL, you wanted to fight him?
you nobody.
Now, wait a minute.
All we want you to do is to get your hands on downtown Bruno and spank him. Beat his brains out.
King's fantasizing about someone in the crowd being brought out to spank him in the ring.
Everything's going to be our mystery party downtown Bruno. You better listen.
You're about to get this young lady in trouble, Emily, with all due respect.
Nobody will touch
well,
you.
maybe I'm wrong. Are you a professional wrestler, Emily?
Absolutely not. No, sir.
Come on now.
No, absolutely not.
Have you ever wrestled before?
Wrestling's just been to the matches on TV.
Okay. What do you do for a living?
Here comes, they brought this rat out of the crowd. She's definitely a plant.
If you're not a professional wrestling, are you in some related field?
She can't just say that she blows the wrestlers. I mean, that's a bit much for 86.
Computer operator.
Huh? Are you a computer operator? You guys better check this with Eddie Marlin before you get into that.
Eddie Marlin. Eddie Marlin is golfing somewhere. He's forgotten he's even the fucking matchmaker here.
What's the story here, Lance Russell?
I am not really certain, but this lady
This lady what?
has
You
been...
call that a lady? What are you talking
She
about?
has been picked. She thinks she can beat you.
She thinks she can beat me.
They're going to give her the chance, Bruno.
I want to tell you something. Lance Russell. When I was growing up on 42K Boulevard, brother,
42K Boulevard.
For me, and I had to beat a lot of ladies to keep them in line. And she wouldn't last 10 minutes on 42K Boulevard. And I'll tell you something. I'm going to pretend that square circle is 42K Boulevard if she's really serious, and I will beat her brains out. And I want to tell you something. Eddie Marlin better have a heck of a lot of insurance, because I don't want to be responsible when we bust both our arms, both our legs, and our head. And I didn't mean to spit in your Lance Russell. But the way it is she's going to get hurt. She's going to suffer, and these two are going to take her.
He's going to break her legs.
Big splash. Once, twice, 3 times. And she's going to be so far into the grind, she's going to be looking up towards the ceiling. She's going to wonder why she ever messed with Downtown Bruno and the Downtown Connection. And she's going to wish shoes on Fort Duquesne Boulevard because at least you can make some money.
I like how he's making no bones about it. He's like, if you get in the ring with me, I'm going to bust you up. I'm going to break your legs. You're going to be sorry you ever got in the ring.
Down there, and I'm disgusted. I thought they were
Getting a little discussion with your...
Oh, camera person.
Okay, come on.
Let me explain something to you. This man takes care of this sleaze bag you got out here, but these guys got the gall to bring out the audience. Let me tell you something. After he takes care of me and Goliath's gonna have her, and let me tell you, when we're finished with you, you're gonna make sure you'll be sorry. The first time you ever come to a wrestling match will be your last one. Don't be looking at me.
This right off the bat doesn't sound like a good idea to me.
Tell him, Lou.
We go, hey, we can win this way. I promise you, Emily.
80% chance of a Memphis Vice finger cuffs.
It's our partner. I love it.
Right.
Are you still going through with this?
Right, and you can tell that bug-eyed bozo, he is not in PA. He is in Memphis, Tennessee. And
All right.
Oh. See, there you go. Who was asking why they brought up Pittsburgh? Now she's like, you can tell him this isn't Pennsylvania. This is Memphis.
All right. Yes, sir.
Hey,
Get on.
you know, are you willing to sign the release
that
that you're
mean,
going
get
to have
on?
to about injury in the ring? Because we had this situation.
Now hold on a second. Where's she going now? Is she gonna? Is this gonna happen? Is this gonna happen today?
Once before with Andy Kaufman. I'm not really believing what I've seen, but Emily, I'm not certain her last name. Emily Arthur, I believe. Yeah, that's right. Emily Arthur. Thank you for the little help. She has volunteered to join them, and they're acting like it. She's still sitting over there telling everybody she's sitting around. She's going to be right there. Anyhow, she's got all that release. I can't believe it. I want to talk to Eddie myself about it. We're going to take time. Do we take time out? I'm a little confused right here. We'll take time out. Move.
That seems like it would happen on the house show, right? That's not gonna happen on the TV show.
Be back in a moment. 60 seconds right at this juncture. Gun. How about the action of championship wrestling today? Dandy! I love it. You never know what's going to happen when you arrive for a program for championship wrestling. It's just like you arriving. You just have no idea what in the world's going to happen. I do know that championship wrestling will be returning to Evansville, Indiana at the Coliseum coming up on Wednesday, January the 7th. Aha! That's right. Wednesday, January the 7th will be the next wrestling action coming into the Evansville. Now, we had indicated before, and somebody said, hey, how about mentioning some of the bouts that are coming into Hopkinsville, because there are a lot of people viewing this that do have the opportunity not living too far away from Hopkinsville. A 14-man Thunderdome will be underway there. An AWA Southern Tag title with Jeff Jarrett and Billy Travis against the Rock and Roll RPM. Big Bubba is going to be going against Soul Train Jones. Boy, you're going to get a chance to see this guy before long.
Soul Train Jones.
Oh.
Emily Arthur.
Really? That's something else. Come out here, and who knows? This is your opportunity. Just come to studio wrestling and become a wrestler all of a sudden. Okay, I want to tell you about some of the talent coming in. We've got some new talent heading your way, and one of them I think you're going to enjoy.
Okay, so this should be like this is like a sizzle reel for what you would get if you vote for us to continue into Memphis 87.
Joy is a guy by the name of Soul Train Jones. Soul Train has the Apollo
EA
Creed
airtight.
attire.
Hell yeah.
He's about 247 pounds, and let me tell you.
Oh man, Virgil, Soul Train Jones. Nice. The biggest dick in wrestling, King.
He is, in fact, a muscle man. Soul Train will be on the way and will be right here. Take a look at that. Is that some kind of a body? Soul Train Jones coming to our town, and we're looking forward to having him here and having an opportunity to see him in the ring. We'll find out when he gets here. In addition to that, I've had a lot of people who have said, when are you going to get some of those gorgeous wrestling ladies into the area? Well,
hey,
we've got some wrestling ladies. I don't know that you would call them gorgeous. These are the Daughters of Darkness. They're called Locke and Luna. Take a good look.
Locke and
we need
Luna.
There you go. How about
Luna Vachon coming in, Virgil coming in. This is a pretty strong push to stick with Memphis and move into 87.
That's sports fans. Okay, the Daughters of Darkness. They're going to be coming our
Gross,
way
someone
too,
in
and
the
you'll have
crowd
a chance to see them. I don't think they look like they're too pleasant, but we'll have an opportunity to see them a little bit later on. Soul Train Jones and the Daughters of Darkness coming our way. Right now, before we get into the next match, we'll see them in the ring. I want to get them out here in advance. We're talking about Billy Travis and Jeff Jarrett.
Oh, boy, talking about a downer.
Yowza! Good to have you guys out. Jeff, Billy, always good to see you two guys. And you've got some conversation about the rock and roll RPM that I am interested in.
Yeah, Lance, you saw what happened in our last match with him, didn't you?
Yeah.
The referee
Ladies
got
of
his
Light.
lights knocked out, got knocked out of the ring.
I think he counted out the wrong.
When he got back
Aphrodite
in
and
the ring,
Grace.
he wasn't really looking around. All he did was just count 1, 2, 3. And he didn't see I had my man pinned on the other side of the ring. Billy had been fighting in there for 10 or 15 minutes, and I was the legal man in. But this week, Lance, we got 2 referees. So I don't think we're going to have to worry about any of those problems, and we're going to get those belts back, Lance.
Okay, well, I'm looking forward to that, Billy. I know that it was.
I think that Ruby would be in that group, but not Grace. Grace would be a heel in a way that, like, she doesn't think she's a heel, which would make the audience even more angry. Like, she would present herself as a babyface.
Well, I could call it like it is. I think they just stolen from you right here on television and got them, and you guys have got every right.
You don't like Jeff Jarrett's shirt? I think it's pretty classy. I like this jacket that Billy Travis has on too.
To have another rematch with him.
No, with 2 referees, Lance, we can't go wrong. We're going to get those belts back.
He is from Nashville, and Nashville Starseek this does have a Starseek vibe.
Back where they belong.
Okay, Billy Travis, Jeff Jarrett. Let's see him in the ring now. I can tell you one thing for a fact. As good a young fellas as you have seen in a long, long time. We're ready to go to the ring in action, David.
Billy Travis up in the ring right now. Here comes Boss Winters bringing in Rough and Ready. They are...
What a dramatic pause.
Boss Winters, well, good luck to you there. He says Jeff and Billy
Oh,
on a
shit,
downhill
Rough and Ready.
slide, and it's going to be a piece of cake for Rough and Ready to take him. Rough and Ready out of parts unknown, 424 their total weight. Jeff out of Nashville, Billy Travis, Lexington, Kentucky. They weigh in at 430. This match, 1 fall, 10-minute time limit, and we are underway.
They are underway, and I think they're making him a...
Like, Ben would keep costing Grace matches, but we'd book it so that it kind of looked like it could have been at like just a miscommunication. So it takes a while. It's like a slow burn feud.
mistake if they confuse that win that Rock and Roll RPM had with being a downhill
Cousin
slide.
Eddie quote?
Yeah, well, absolutely. I think everybody that saw that certainly agrees. A couple of the finest young wrestlers anywhere.
Rough and Ready.
Not just around here. We're talking about Jeff Jarrett and Billy Travis. Jeff in there right now. Onto the rope. Fired across the ring. Let him set that shoulder as he came off of there. Billy Travis in. Forearm. Now, body slams him.
You know, I would recreate it, and like whoever our Eddie Marlin is, our authority figure, would say that, like, you know, listen, Ben cannot come down to ringside right now. He is barred from ringside. You will immediately lose this match if he comes out. And then just have Ben walk out on the Titantron and then look real surprised and then back out. And he could be like, look, I was just on my way to the craft table. I picked up a snack and I took a wrong turn. And, you know, it'd be some big cope misunderstanding.
Travis and Jeff Jarrett put him into the rope. Wow. Down he goes. Count is 1. But that's all he get is a 1 count. Rough and Ready in here is decided underdog despite the...
They'd be like, Ben, you handed your daughter a steel chair during the match. Of course we're going to disqualify. And he'd be like, oh, I'm sorry, loving my daughter helping my daughter to succeed in life and to get ahead at work is against the rules now?
Confidence, perhaps overconfidence of Boss Winters. Jeff Jarrett. Good upper arm. Goes for a cover. Can he hold it for three? Count is at one. Here comes Billy Travis. Billy springs down off the middle rope. Minute 45 seconds gone in this one. By Billy, counts 1, 2, he kicks out of it at 2 count.
Mildew and turkey. Oh my God.
Jeff with the upper arm puts him down to the mat. Here's a cover again. Count is 1, 2, and no.
Smells like it's like an aquarium.
Oh, looked like he had a 3 count,
Rotten
but he
aquarium.
didn't get it. Just a count of 2. Billy
want the
Travis will be
mask.
coming back in after the tag. I tell you at this point about the most that can be said for Rough and Ready is that they are still in the match. And we're 2.5 minutes into it. They have not made a single offense.
But all the fireballs hit Grace. So she's winning, but it's because she's being disqualified by the mishap interference by her own manager.
Move. It has been all Billy Travis and Jeff Jarrett. They've controlled the tempo of the match.
Hey, Rick Tony, how's it going? Any relation to Boy Tony? I appreciate you. You're smoking medical and drinking Bud Light? Hell yeah.
Billy Travis spins him around. Down to the mat he goes. Billy with a cover. Count is 2. Again, he can't make it stick for a 3 count. Jarrett in with the right hand. Cover again. Count is 1, 2, and this time also he only gets a 2 count. Thought he had him. That's the second time. It looked like he had set up pretty well for a 3 count. Jeff and Billy tagging in.
I feel like I haven't been able to really appreciate the Jarrett run like I could if it wasn't like a constant like blade looming above the stream.
Out frequently. Mark of a good tag team. Keep the fresh man in there as much as possible. Billy using the rope, springs down there.
Oh,
this
it's your
time
radio
he doesn't
name.
try to go for the cover. Rough and Ready, a broken.
Hey, King TL, you smell like it. You said you smell like an old hockey bag. Whenever Eddie Kingston was doing was first starting out and he was doing like independence in the Midwest and Pennsylvania, me and my friends used to always chant old gym shoes at him because he smelled horrible because he never washed his gear, but he never put it together that we were just saying like that he smelled bad.
Cover.
He also wore like all the Puerto Rico stuff, and I was there with this like Eastern European guy, and I don't know who it is, but apparently there's like a musician called Daddy Yankee who's from Puerto Rico. So this guy would incessantly yell like Daddy Yankee sucks and fuck Daddy Yankee at Eddie Kingston, hoping that, I guess because they were both Puerto Rican, like that would get to Eddie Kingston.
Several times in a match. Billy tags Jeff. Jeff comes in, drops down with the upper arm. Snap over. Count is 1, 2. Left shoulder came up off the mat, stopped the count there. We're 4 minutes, 5 seconds into this one.
Oh man, he's got a good drop kick.
Snap that neck back. Count of 3. That did it. Boy, he got it with a great drop kick.
Well, friend, if you have any doubt, let me tell you, he can flat lay a drop kick out there. A beautiful move with Jeff Jarrett. Nails him with a drop kick, and they came away with a relatively easy win, I think, over Rough and Ready.
4 minutes, 15 seconds the time on it, and It's Jeff Jarrett and Billy Travis controlling it and winning.
Timeout. Be back with more action. We still got that 8-man, and that'll be coming up later.
John Paul.
John Paul coming out as they will be involved in the next bit of action, and this ought to be a dandy right here. Rock and roll RPM, Mike Davis and Tommy Lane. Show, I think we got a goodie coming up. John Paul stripped down. Boy, he's a well-built young man. So is Tracy. Both of them big, good height, David.
Yeah, especially Tracy. Tracy very tall, and that's good. He's able to make use of that in many matches. A couple of guys right here. One of them pretty tall. The guy who's on the right there. That would be Mike Davis. Tommy Lane, his partner, out of Atlanta, Georgia, the Rock and Roll RPMs. Tracy Smothers out of Springfield, Tennessee.
I don't think we're getting
Minnesota.
I don't think we're getting the match with the woman. I think that's at a house show. Because there's not much time left. This is the last show.
Tracy and John Paul weigh in at a total of 454, and so do the Rock and Roll RPM.
Be a search for Daddy Yankee Gasolina.
This is a non-title match, by the way. The Southern Tag Team belts being handed out of the ring by the Rock and Roll RPMs. Jerry Calhoun, the referee, has sounded the bell, and here we go. Tracy Smothers against Tommy Lane.
I actually have kind of a funny interaction with Eddie Kingston that happened on camera. I don't want to spoil it, but I'll try to find it. But it's Thumb Media probably has the rights online, but we just would have to squeeze it in at like the end of a stream sometime if I can find it.
Tommy Lane slamming the shoulder into the midsection of Tracy Smothers. Tracy wins on a reverse, drives him in, body slams him, hip toss, and hooks that arm, takes him right over with that snap arm roll. Rolls him back up. He gets the left shoulder down, but the right shoulder was far. The referee gave him a count from our angle. It looked like his right shoulder was up. Makes no never mind. There was only one of them, and they got to come in bunches, like 3 at least. Ooh. Popping away with that right fist. Tommy Lane, look at this. Nice move. Tracy Smothers.
I hope the Rock and Roll RPMs don't take Tracy and John Paul lightly. Rock and Roll RPMs tend to be a team that since if they are wearing the belts, they come in there thinking they're unbeatable and that they're so much better than everybody else. They overlook Tracy and John Paul. They're going to find themselves in trouble here today, let me tell you.
That's okay. I could sit here and watch that.
All right, wouldn't it? Come to think of it. Mike Davis over on the ropes. He wanted a break, and that's a way to get it, and he got it. Tracy Smothers backs away.
Yeah, I think some of the crowd, when they're rooting for a particular wrestler, in this case, a lot of folks root for Tracy and John Paul. I think when they see somebody make what is a good move, and that is get over and use the ropes to break it up, they boo them and they don't particularly care for it. But it is a very slick move.
Davis trying a reversal. Tracy tried the same thing, lost the hold, ends up in a headlock, but now he powers out of it. Great move by Tracy as he forces Mike Davis down to the mat.
There's a tag on Minneapolis.
Whoa, hang on.
Tracy tried the same thing, lost the hold, ends up in a headlock, but now he powers out of it. Great move by Tracy as he forces Mike Davis down to the mat.
Somebody fucked. Are they saying somebody fucked up? That's interesting. I can't figure out what else it could be.
There's a tag on Minneapolis.
I'm sorry, I got to take it back one more time.
Great move by Tracy as he forces Mike Davis down to the mat.
There's a tag on Minneapolis' John Paul.
Ooh, that had to hurt.
Yeah, with Tracy still holding on.
Really enjoying the sights.
Look out. Ooh, that hurt too. John Paul's head into the turnbuckle, top rope. Tommy Lane in now. They double team as they make the exchange. Tommy Lane, the shorter of the
What's
Rock
up,
and Roll
BFD?
RPMs, but he's just as tough and vicious as the other, Mike Davis. body slam on John Paul.
Mike taking the tag. He comes back in from behind and nails John Paul. Pulls him out of the corner. Crotches him, fires him in the air, and a big body slam that follows once again. Davis backed away enough to take the steam out of that midsection shot by John Paul.
Powerful knee left he used on it.
Tommy Lane whip and misses the right. Oh, nice clothesline.
John Paul needs to get to the corner now. He does, gets the tag, and here comes Tracy Smothers over the top rope. After both of them. First Tommy Lane, now Mike Davis. John Paul back in to help.
One wiper.
All four of them in the ring.
How you doing, EFD? Hey, EFD, if I win the lottery, are you going to go to, if I take you, are you going to go to the, will you sit in the front row at the UFC with me? I'm buying lottery tickets now so that I can try to do all this crazy YouTube stuff before the end times.
Crazy working on Tommy Lane. Oh, look out. Here comes Boy Tony.
Yeah, Boy Tony over there, and he just nailed Tracy Smothers with that purse. Hit him 1, 2, 3, and the rock and roll RPM. We saw you come running in there. Now, don't give me any of that stuff. Came in there and hit Tracy Smothers.
Lance Russell, you talk about me being a loser. I'm a winner. I win all my matches right now. There's your loser. That boy lost right here in the middle of the ring.
Tony's back.
I beat him last week right here. He's nothing but a loser.
Yeah, what you've done is ended up causing him to get beat in there. There's no question about that. Hey, he came running in, hit him with a purse. There's nothing funny about that.
I didn't do that. Wait. Let me tell you something, Lance Russell. This man here is a winner. You got people like John Paul and Tracy Smothers. These are losers.
Yeah, there you go. EFD's probably a better person for the Hogan beer review.
Wait. Watch this. These are losers. That's what's up. Boy Tony didn't do nothing. Now, I got a few things I want to say about Boy Tony here. But first of all, I just want to make a few comments about what I've been seeing going on here today. I'm very happy to see my good friends and neighbors, the Rock and Roll RPMs with the Tag Team Championship. A lot of tag teams right here. There's Rough and Ready. Of course, I can never tell them apart, But now then, enough of that. Let me talk about Boy Tony here. This man is a real man. This man is a tough man. This man is one of the #1, if not the #1 professional wrestler in the business today, in the sport today. Now, let me talk about something. We got a back alley street brawl with Tracy Smothers, okay?
Hit up EFD on Cash App, Daninsky. Send him some money and he'll get the beer, but don't be shorting him. He don't want no small donos.
I'm going to tell you something, Tracy Smothers. This man here is not only beautiful, not only talented, but the clothes that he wears, not only into the square circle and out here to talk to Lancer, but walking up and down the street and everywhere he goes, was given to him by Boy George, the lead singer from Culture Club, baby. Do you really want to hurt me? You know who I'm talking about. Well, this right here is worth $5 grand alone. This right here, this is one of his cheaper outfits, sort of for bumming around. When this guy gets all New Yorked up, baby, hey!
Ooh, there goes Boy Tony out of there, and hey, just come right in here, Tracy. He's out here talking about all of that, trying to make a big deal out of the fact you lost a match in there. You hit him. He hit you with that purse.
That's right. Last week it was that hairspray you sprayed in my eyes. This week it was that purse. I don't know what you got in that purse, but it's not Avon. I don't care what you got. I know I got a back.
Here's the question, EFD. If you try the beer and the beer is like really good, are you going to do a Hulk Hogan and tear your shirt off?
Alley Street Brawl coming up, brother. And the first
I mean, if it's really good, if it's really primo stuff.
thing I'm going to do, I'm tearing your clothes off and I'm stripping you butt naked. Right, butt naked. And I'm going to show all these people all over that you ain't a man, brother. And I'm going further than that. I'm going further than that. When I strip you naked, I'm going to beat you senseless, and I'm going to whip you.
So Tracy Smothers' promise here, even more so than winning the match, even more so than beating up Boy Tony, even more so than, getting payback, in a traditional way. He wants to strip the clothes off of Boy Tony and Downtown Bruno.
Your butt like your mama should have done a long time ago when you turned into a fag.
Okay, we got to go.
Wow, strong words from Tracy Smothers. You can do a Hulk Hogan by not drinking the beer and say you did. Yeah, you can do like Obama with the Flint water and just bring it up to your lips a little bit.
Okay, we're going to be back into Championship Wrestling with more of that big action coming up in just a moment. Did you get it? January the 7th. That's Wednesday night. Returns to the Evansville Coliseum. Championship Wrestling will be there. I'm going to call in a Downtown Bruno, and his large charge is in here to discuss the incident that took place on this Championship Wrestling. The folks are watching right now. It looks like...
Fred Ottman looks like he could have been on the cast of Over the Top.
That they're close to having that all set up for Evansville so that the...
Hey, let me tell you something, Lance Russell. Well. Let me tell you something. When they said something about a mystery player, I thought maybe they were going to have somebody huge, somebody solid like Tracy Smothers or Pat Tanaka, somebody like that. When they come out here and say there's going to be some broad, first of all, I'm not happy about that because they're trying to make a fool out of me.
That's the idea.
Yeah, that's the idea. Well, second of all, it's going to be me that makes a fool out of them and that broad when I beat the living...
I know, that's kind of strange that he wants to... What did we watch where there was like somebody got hit with something, but maybe it was a kendo stick match, but you had to get hit on your bare ass. That was like one of the stipulations of the match.
Heck out of her and leave her laying there in the dirt. But, I don't want to get sued. I don't want to have my money tied up in court for the next 6 months when I beat up some broads. I heard about men wrestlers getting in trouble years ago for beating up lady wrestlers. And she's not even a wrestler. I want to talk to that goofball Eddie Marlin right now and make sure... Hey, get him out here. I know he's out here.
Come on in here.
Did Eddie Marlin actually manage to get up out of bed and come into work for once?
Hey. What's my problem? I don't want to get sued. I don't want to go to court. I don't want to go to jail. Hey, don't tell me what to do. She better sign some papers or do something because I'm not...
Already signed here.
Let me see. Let me see that.
Don't have a fit about it.
The girl's going to come out here and whip your fanny, right?
No, this girl's not going to do anything to me. I am Downtown Bruno. I'm not some wimp. My idea of a wimp is not myself. I'm going to beat this girl. Eddie Marlin, I don't know what he's thinking about, but there's no way he's right, brother. No way.
Did you hear the answer from the studio when they said, how many people do you think in here can beat Downtown Bruno? Everybody in the place, and for 8
Lance Russell, who cares about the studio? That's a bunch of hillbilly redneck geeks. I'm not concerned about the studio. I'm concerned about these two men and myself and the Memphis Mice and that little broad.
Well, it's all in the future. We'll see it all coming up. 8-man tag match coming up here, and we're going to be in there. If we get them out, let's go, or else head to the ring, because we're running out of time. We got to get out of here. Okay. Don Bass, Buddy Wayne coming out here right now. Yeah.
You thought you got rid of me, huh?
Oh, my God. Here we go.
Buddy Wayne, baby.
Oh, boy.
A legend in his own time, huh?
Yeah, I started back wrestling. I've got in shape. I've trained. I've lost about 45 pounds. So let's get in the ring.
Oh, good grief. Look at this crew.
Yes, sir. I hear that Paul Diamond said that he wanted to go to that
Paul Diamond.
such thing as I quit match. But I think Japanese will never say I quit match.
I don't know whether he can say I quit or not, but boy, I'll tell you, he can say a lot of other things. I did recognize Diamond. Okay, Dave, let's get the introductions here, buddy.
All right, this match is going to be an 8-man tag team match. Goes to the expiration of time. And Tarzan Goto, Buddy Wayne, Don Bass, and Boy Tony with Tojo Yamamoto in their corner. Coming in on the other side of the ring, it is the Memphis Mice, Big Lou and Jerry Bryant, Paul Diamond, and Pat Tanaka. 8-man tag team rules are in effect. Referee Jerry Calhoun explained.
It's an expiration of time match. We have like 2 minutes left, 3 minutes left. The last 3 minutes of 1986 Memphis.
Meaning that. Looks like Buddy Wayne is going to be starting over here on this side of the ring. On the other side, who will it be?
Buddy Wayne looks like the fabulous Moolah.
Paul Diamond from Thunder Bay, Ontario, Canada.
Hey, Diamond starting out against Buddy Wayne.
Oh, the last match in 1986 has former drug addict Paul Diamond. Amazing.
Buddy, who has not been in the ring in quite some time. He is quite a seasoned veteran. He and Don Bass both. And right away, they start out teaming up together on Paul Diamond.
Don, about 300 pounds. Buddy Wayne comes in at about 255. Tarzan Goto doesn't weigh that much, but boy, he's powerful. Let me tell you, look at him and Diamond going at each other. Diamond. Oh, he got him with a drop kick. Buddy Wayne nailed him from behind. Everybody from the other side of the ring jumped in there. Now, look out.
8 men going at it, Dave.
8 men in there and a referee in the middle, and will we ever get it sorted out here? Look out, Paul Diamond thrown over the top rope. That's a disqualification. The referee was watching it. Kojo Yamamoto with a kendo stick.
Yamamoto beating away on Paul Diamond with a kendo stick in there. Disqualification as Diamond was thrown over the top rope.
What a mess.
Diamond and Goto.
Well, they're going after it down here on the floor. The match is over. Disqualification when Paul was thrown over the top rope. There's Lou Winston and Pat Tanaka, Jerry Bryant trying to help Paul to get him back out of the clutches of Tarzan Goto. There they go. The winners of the match are going to be Lou Winston, Jerry Bryant, Pat Tanaka, and Paul Diamond.
Boy, that son of a gun started out, Dave, and within less than almost a minute, they were all 8 at it.
Yeah, just under a minute.
Sooner or later, we usually see that, but not that quick. They really were going at each other in there. So it was the team of the Vice with Diamond and Tanaka with the victory in there. We're going to take time out. We'll be back in just a moment. Okay, I'm sorry our time went a little bit longer. We would have loved to have had Don Bass left his cigar butt on here today. Oh, well. They ended up on the short end of that particular one, right?
They did, in fact. It was the team of Goto, Wayne, Bass, and Boy Tony losing to Memphis Vice, Paul Diamond, and Pat Tanaka.
What's up,
Son of a gun, we just don't have the time to be reviewing all of them, but we'll see them next week. Good holidays to you from everybody at Championship Wrestling. Till we see you next week, for Dave Brown, Lance Russell saying bye-bye, everybody.
Well, that's it. That's 1986 Memphis. We watched every available episode. I could only find 50 complete episodes. I don't know if there were maybe they took 2 weeks off in there somewhere. But that's 1986. I've got a couple other things for us to watch, but we definitely need to figure out this week what we want to do as far as what we want to start doing on Fridays. So I'll make a community post about it. So just think about if you give a shit. If you don't, if you just along for the ride, that's okay too. But if you're interested in having a say in what we might watch, I'll watch for that community post and I'll put up some more details. But first, I do want to show this. I didn't get to show these when we actually watched the Jewel Rancid video. We're not going to watch it, I promise. Don't worry. I just want to show you her sunglasses. Okay, so there's Jewel Rancid's sunglasses. This was as close as I could get, but I feel like I got it kind of close. What do you think? Hers are a little bit more brown, and these are darker, but I think they're pretty fairly close. Anyway, that's it. I derailed the whole stream just to show you my Jewel Rancid glasses. You work mornings now? Miss y'all? Oh, man. I would love to do some nighttime streams. To have a proper goodbye to Memphis so we can process this loss. I thought we'd watch a Jerry Lawler
this cake
video.
For me.
If you remember, we watched that video of this guy going on a tour of Jerry Lawler's home. So I figured the one about his robes was probably pretty decent too. So I thought it might be something nice to help us ease out of Memphis 1986. So this is a tour of Jerry the King Lawler's robes.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jerry, the King of Wrestling Lawler. And in the next hour, you're going to see some pretty exciting video.
See, when I'm this close to you, I have the urge to do something like this.
Well, it's just as simple as this. I plan on becoming not only the King of Memphis, but simply the King of Wrestling, Gordon.
Look at Lawler go to town.
For some reason, those Yankees just don't like people from the South. And I don't like them either. And I just tell them exactly what I think about them up there.
Joining me at the podium right now is the self-proclaimed king of wrestling, Jerry Lawler.
Now with me, the King, Jerry Lawler. Jerry, revenge has to be on your mind tonight.
And Lawler picks him up for the power driver.
I am that larger-than-life hero.
We're down here in the King's Batcave. Today we're going to look at some of the King's wardrobe, his iconic robes that he wore throughout his career. But first, Jerry, the King.
Hello, Barry. How are you?
Great to see you again. We've invaded your house one more time.
One more time in the Batcave. We came in the Batcave once before,
did.
right? Kind of did the tour of all of the, I kind of refer to it as junk that I've kind of collected over the years. But yeah, today we're going to talk a little bit about ring gear, what do you call it, costumes. I guess probably most people would call it costumes. In the wrestling business itself, the guys just refer to it as their ring gear. And gosh, some of these robes go back all the way to maybe the mid or late 70s, like this one right here. And then it's different stuff that I wore before I got into the WWE. And then once I was in the WWE, I wore some other jackets during commentating, and then I wore just about all of these at one time or other for the past over 50 years.
Well, King, before we get into your iconic robes and all your wardrobe, how important is wardrobe costumes to a professional wrestler?
Oh my gosh. I mean, it can make or break a guy, your entire career. I mean, I can't tell you how these guys will sit around today, and even not just the one guy. Back in my day when I first started, it was all up to you. You had to come up with your own persona, your own gimmick, so to speak, is what we used to call it. I
feel like I'm just hanging out with the King.
My gimmick started in around 1974 or something like this, 74, 75 or whatever. And it was being the King. And that all sort of happened by accident. I never at any one time when I first started wrestling, I just was introduced as Jerry Lawler from Memphis, Tennessee. Nothing special about me at all. And I never sat around thinking anything about it at that time. And then somewhere, like I said, in the mid-'70s, I had a match against the fabulous Jackie Fargo, who Jackie had been the premier star in Memphis wrestling for years and years. And I finally worked my way up to have a championship match with Jackie Fargo. And at that time, you would just go out on TV on Saturday morning, live TV, and they just throw you out there and they say, hey, you got a match Saturday or Monday night against Jackie Fargo. Go out there and talk about it. So I just walked out. Lance Russell was there, and we started talking about my match that was coming up Monday night at the Coliseum.
Hey, what's up, Junk?
And I don't know.
Hey, Junk, you were in Ruby's stream this morning, right? I came in right at the end just because I saw she was wearing the hat that I want. What was the deal? Who was she talking about? Like, she said she was something about the forbidden people. What was going on with that? You're going to go shower? All right, see you later, ATF Media. You think you spot a ring rat?
You just come up with stuff off the top of your head. Nobody, these days, a lot of the promos and stuff that wrestlers say is written for them by a crew of writers, actual like sitcom writers and guys like that, But back in the day, you just went out there and winged it. And so I just was talking about what it would be like to beat Jackie Fargo. And I just looked in the camera and I said, you know something, Fargo? You've been the king of Memphis wrestling for a long, long time, but you're looking at the kid that's going to knock you off your throne Monday night. And that was just a little interview that I read. At that point, I walked off.
Grace was in the chat. Okay, I'll have to check it out. I came in right at the end, and it was right when I needed to start streaming.
And then Monday night, we had our match, and I won the match. And so I was walking back to the dressing room. Fans were all over.
Soon to be blocked, though.
And I was a bad guy then. Most people didn't like me, but a lot of the younger kids liked just like me when I was just a kid going to wrestling. I liked the bad guys. And there were a lot of young kids as I was walking back to their dressing room. I mean, they were patting me on the shoulder and saying, "Hey, you're the king. You're the king now. You're the king of Memphis." And that just kind of stuck in my head, and it was crazy. I
like that not only, like you said, that he's wearing his own merch, but I like that it's like, to me, one of the like crappier pieces of Lawler merch.
And also back then, we wrestled every night of the week. I mean, I wrestled in Memphis that night. Then the next day I was in Louisville, Kentucky. And then on Wednesday, I drove to Evansville, Indiana. Then on Thursday, I was back up in Lexington, Kentucky. And then on Friday, Jerry Jarrett, who was the promoter in Memphis, he had worked a deal at like a talent swap with the promoter down in Atlanta, Georgia. His name was Jim Barnett. And they were kind of exchanging some talent. Now, Friday night was the big night in Atlanta. That's when they had wrestling at the Omni, and the Monday night was the big night in Memphis. So on that Friday, they sent me down to Atlanta.
Oh shit! New clinic drama, damn.
Atlanta to be in a big match there, and then on Mondays they would send somebody from Atlanta up to Memphis. So I'd wrestled all that week, and after making that statement the last week, I won the match against Fargo on the Monday night. And so then Friday night, I just wasn't thinking anything about it. I walk into the locker room in Atlanta, and I'm sitting there, putting my gear on. I look up, and in comes this guy named Bobby Shane. I knew who he was, but I didn't realize that he was wrestling all through the Atlanta territory as King Bobby Shane. And he had one of these crowns under his arm. He had a big cape thrown over his shoulder. And when he walked in, I just went, "Oh my gosh." And I looked, I said, "Bobby," I said, "I just made this interview up in Memphis last Saturday morning about me beating Jackie Fargo, and if I did, I was going to be the king of Memphis." I said, "Where did you get the crown and the robe and everything? Because if I showed up on TV with a crown like that, it would be a hoot, right?" And he said, "Well," he told me where he got it. He said, "I'll never forget it. It was a place called Southern Importers that you had to phone in. You had to call them on the phone and tell them what you wanted and order it and pay for it. They'd send it to you a week or two later. But it was Southern Importers in Houston, Texas." And so now I'm thinking, oh man, it'll take forever to get one of those shipped in.
Oh, so she thought everything was set up, and instead it was just like, oh, here's where you can begin the journey to a new provider. Yikes.
Going to be live on TV the following morning. This was Friday night. I was going to be back in Memphis live on TV the next morning. And then as luck would have it, or fate would have it, Bobby said, "You know what? I'm actually leaving tomorrow on a tour, a month-long tour of Hawaii of Australia for Jim Barnett, who was the Atlanta promoter." He says he's sending me down there for a month in Australia. And he said, "I'm just going to wrestle as Bobby Shane down there." He said, "I wasn't going to lug all this stuff with me." I mean, that's just the way he said it. He said, "I didn't want to lug all this stuff with me all the way to Australia." He said, "So if you want, after tonight's matches, you take this crown and you take this robe and you can show up with it on Memphis TV in the morning. And when I get back from Australia in a month, you'll probably have time for you to order your own, and it would be in by then, and you can just give me this back next month when I get back from Australia." So that's what happened. It just, like I said, as fate would have it, it worked out that way. And I took it with me. The next morning, I was live on Memphis TV. I walked out with a crown on my head and a robe on, and all of a sudden, I was the king of Memphis, the king of wrestling. And that's stuck with me, and that's been my trademark, my gimmick, so to speak, for all of these years. And there's been tons of other guys that tried to copy it and tried to call themselves the king of wrestling and everything. And they had a king of the ring tournament every year in WWE. But I think I'm the only guy that has
Robbie Lawler. He does kind of look like him, but I don't think so.
Lasted with the same gimmick of being the king for over 50 years, or almost 50.
Man, what a fighter he was, huh? Robbie Lawler, man, what a king.
Years. So I can't really speak for all the other guys, but I can tell you that's been very, very important and very instrumental in my career.
Like old school, like tactical brawler. Well, not always tactical, but
that thing. And the unusual thing about Bobby Shane, he loaned me the crown. I showed up the next morning. All of a sudden, I could walk out as the king of Memphis and started wearing the crown. I sent off and I got my own crown back within just a couple of days. But I still wore the one that Bobby let me borrow until a month later. And he got back from, I heard that he was back from Australia down in Florida. And the first week that he was back, he got killed in a plane crash in Florida, in Tampa, Florida. And I never got to give him his crown back. So I had his crown and his robe that was kind of left to me, so to speak, for all those years. And I know, go ahead and ask me the question, do I still have it?
Do you still have that crown? That's kind of an iconic crown.
Oh my gosh.
It's a larger crown that you first started with.
Yeah, and this is almost an exact replica. This is an old crown. This one is made by the same people crowns that I always wore. These were like the Imperial Margarine commercial crowns for back in the day. But it was very similar to this, but honestly, I really can't remember exactly what happened. I'm sure it got smashed, stomped on, or something happened to it over the years. And as we were talking before we went on the air here, back in the day, you didn't think of anything as being memorabilia. You didn't think of anything as going to be worth something in the future, you know. It was
Sorry, UFC stuff probably completely out. I mean, I would imagine so. Like WWF stuff is hard, or WWE, whatever, is hard to get away with. So I would say UFC probably is too. I'd love to watch the old stuff though. Maybe if we found like a really degraded dupe of a dupe VHS, we could get away with it.
The crown got smashed, and I said, "Tuck, gotta order me a new one." But yeah, somewhere along the line, I wish I
Randy Wanzer is hot over these Lawler claims.
knew, because that would be a very valuable piece of memorabilia if I still had that crown. But
that would be a $100,000 crown, your very first crown, which really wasn't yours.
Exactly. Yeah, with that story, yeah, it would probably be worth that kind of money.
How many crowns have you had in your lifetime?
Let me see. As I look up here, I know I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 crowns throughout the inside of my house. And if you look right up there, there's probably 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. There's like 14 there. And you know, we have
a like Holy Grail stream for me would be if we could do the prides. That would be like amazing.
Several down at the club, so
we probably could on Twitch. Well, I mean, we could do anything we wanted to there, pretty much.
I try to keep on hand at least,
as long as it's non-political,
at least 20 or 25 if I can. But like I said, now there's nobody around that makes crowns.
Or conspiracy theory. They don't like that either.
Like a certain way that they're made, and you know, I have, as you can see up there, there's kind of rip-off, or not rip-off, but just cheaper versions.
There are some like foreign stuff, I mean, maybe, but there's like, you know, little indie fight companies that have, you know, went out of business and stuff where the footage is debatable if anybody would come after you.
Just don't really look good.
You don't like this interview, Junk? Did you watch the stream I did where this guy, Jerry Lawler, gave this guy a tour of his home? And like 20 minutes of it was him explaining the plot of the movie starring Michael J. Fox, because Jerry Lawler has like 90 seconds of screen time in the movie.
To wear to the ring and that sort of thing. And I got this in California at a costume shop that makes movie props. And
like, we can't watch Cops, but we can watch that show that Bob Brown suggested, that New Zealand version of Cops. Although it's got nudity, so I don't know how all that plays out.
This, if you put, you know, when I got it, I said, well, I'm going to put a, you know, the red.
I literally just got like a either a 30-day or a 90-day on there not too long ago for a stream about global. I was doing a stream about global terrorism, and they didn't like one of the interview segments in one of them for some reason.
Velvet top on there, but I never got around to doing that. But yeah, so different places, different ways, probably 25. But over the years, I've probably had hundreds.
So King, the first piece of your puzzle for your crown.
The crown was the first piece, yeah.
So let's just talk a little bit. We don't have any with us right now. I'm sure you could go grab some, but we won't do that. Let's talk about your tights and your boots, because wrestlers can't just run out and buy a pair of boots anywhere, right?
No.
Where do wrestlers get their boots and their tights?
Well, there's from as long as I can remember, there have been certain people that are in the the wrestling boot making business, gosh, my favorite pair of boots that have literally lasted me.
Do you think that's another reason that wrestling has kind of lost some of its like mojo, is because back in the day you had like a wrestler that connected with a seamstress or a bootmaker or whatever, and like it was almost like that bootmaker, like, you know, they would collaborate together to come up with the shit. Whereas now it's just kind of like, you know, mass produced by the WWE, you know, a wardrobe department or whatever.
I got them, how long ago was the 70s? Say mid-70s. How long ago?
Yeah, that was kind of weird. Like, that's crazy. I figured the thumbnail was like clickbait, and it was like, no. I actually watched it after that, and they don't show the dicks, but they come like super close. It's ridiculous. Great episode, though.
What would that be?
It's a long time ago.
A long time ago. There was
50 years ago.
Okay, there was a famous bootmaker, a guy that made wrestling boots in Japan, and he was amazing. I never actually got to meet him, but what you could do is the guys would sit down, they'd take a piece of paper, they would draw right around their foot to get the size, then they would measure around their ankle, and then they would measure again around their calf, and then they would send this information.
Me and Lalo are Grace's only friends. Did she say that, though, because that's what Grace said? I feel like somebody told me Grace said that in a stream, that I think somebody was saying she didn't have any friends, and she said she had two friends, me and Lalo.
Information to this bootmaker in Japan, and from those three measurements, he would make you a pair of boots. And so I ordered 2 pair of boots back in the mid-70s. One pair was white.
Do you think it complicates like the way that Ruby sees me because she associates me so strongly with Grace? Because I still feel like me and Ruby.
Oh gosh, they were white patent leather, which they didn't last too well. A guy named David Milligan, though, who is a huge collector, and he's a guy that makes belts and everything. Yeah, David.
That's another thing. Like, I feel the same way about belts. Like, I feel like there used to be like real like individual artisan belt crafters that would make like a masterpiece belt instead of like a, you know, what's going to sell it on a toy shelf.
Has that white pair of boots. And what I ordered back then, not very many people ever ordered them, but I ordered zip-up boots. And so, but the black pair with the white crown on the side, zip-up boots, have lasted me for about over 40 years.
Oh, you still have those?
I still have them. I still wrestle in them every week. And I wrestled in them in WrestleMania. I wrestled Andy Kaufman in them. All the huge matches that I've had for all of these years, I wore those boots.
Another $100,000 collectible.
Maybe. I've had a lot of offers for those boots. But I tell everybody, it's the only pair of boots I have left. There are 2 pairs of boots down at our club down there in Beale Street. But these were my favorites and the ones that have lasted me the longest.
So are the wrestling boots comfortable or are they not comfortable?
No, they're comfortable.
Yours are well worn, obviously.
Well worn, and it's amazing. This guy took this Japanese bootmaker. He's the best. They're lined in the softest leather ever, and then the leather outside. I have had them resold about probably 4 times. Over
That's quality.
Yeah, they're amazing. And the other thing, which every night, I really honestly think about this every time I put them on.
Like, yeah, as far as Ruby and Grace, like obviously like Grace is my favorite YouTuber, but I'm a big fan of Ruby, and like that's never like I don't, aside from when Ruby kind of got into her feelings and banned me for no reason, like I don't feel like that's ever been an issue of getting along with either one of them, really. Especially since I feel like they both are fans of each other too.
It's the same zippers. I've never had a problem with either one of the zippers on those boots.
And who made these?
I have no idea what his name was, but he was a boot maker in Japan, a little Japanese guy.
Which is ironic because I remember Tojo Yamamoto, he wrestled barefooted or in wooden shoes, right?
Exactly. And as a matter of fact,
I mean, don't we kind of keep coming back to that theme over and over again, like you said, that like everything loses that? That's kind of like how we felt about, we were talking about like daytime trash TV, how Springer went from like something that was really out of pocket to like a well-oiled machine. Like it was more of like a theme. Everything's like a theme park ride. Like nothing about Memphis feels like a theme park ride, even though it's like over the top and kind of corny. Like it didn't feel like it felt like a place where shit could get real pretty quick, even though it's kind of a goofy place. But I don't know, maybe it's just seeing all this old 80s and 90s stuff. Like it's just getting me in my boomer feelings.
Tojo is the guy who put me in touch with this bootmaker. That's, he had all his information.
I got to talk to you guys about it because my only friends are Grace and EFD.
Back in the day, and I never met him. I didn't get the boots when I went to Japan. I just mailed off the the sizes and everything, and he sent it back.
We're going to have to get a shot of those boots before we leave.
Yeah,
so
we can do that.
I mean, I'm sure everybody's seen them, but we've got to get a good close-up of them while we're here.
Okay.
So, King, what about tights? You wore the straps, one strap down.
Hey,
your
by
famous,
Grace, I'm saved.
I hate to call it a gimmick. It's your famous.
No, that's a gimmick. Yeah,
you kick somebody's butt, you
pull the strap.
Down.
Pull the strap. That's what I was famous for, pulling the strap.
Why does someone pick that type of those tights versus just the shorts?
I picked them solely because they were unique. They were different from whatever what everybody was wearing at the time. And there was once again, we're going back in the 70s. There was a company that is still around today. That, like I said, is still around today, called Carl and.
Everyone's depressed about 1986 Memphis being over.
Hildegard. It was a man and his wife, and
Everyone's unsubscribing and going over to Randy Hale's channel.
That was their business. They made wrestling tights. They made trunks. They made the long tights. They made wrestling jackets back in the day.
Anybody who thinks this is slow pace should have seen him talking about that Coca-Cola table. My God.
And they did it all. They were in a little town in not Columbus, but right outside of Columbus, Ohio. And they've been making wrestling gear for over maybe 60 years. And it's still, their daughter is still running the business today. And I just ordered some new tights from her not long ago. But nowadays, almost everybody you see in the WWE or these other things, they don't even know about Carl and Hildegard, and they have their tights special made. Like in the WWE, they have a wardrobe department, and they have 3 or 4 different wardrobe people. 2 ladies that have been there forever, and then a couple more just kind of seamstresses kind of come and go. But they make all of the gear for all of the WWE people.
And they've got to.
You got a pizza in the oven already?
Be looking into the future because some of these characters are not even on TV yet. Correct?
Right, exactly. The cool thing about me, though, I have stuck with Carl and Hildegard, and they still have, they're probably showing this. I'll make sure they show this to you people as we're talking about it right now. But they still have the same little brochure that I looked at when I first got in the business in 1970.
Is Jerry high as a kite? What's going on here?
71, with the same drawings of the.
Let's see.
They have some tops and some long tights and the different tops and then the short trunks. But there was one called a butcher top, and that had 2 straps. And then the one that I picked out was called a Tarzan top, with just the one strap. And that's, I don't know, I just looked at that and I said that was different. Jackie Fargo at the time was wearing the butcher tops. And that's where, you know, Jackie Fargo was my hero, and he became like a father figure to me.
Good week for a Grace meetup for who? King TL?
After I got to know
Ruby.
Him so well and got into the business. And, you know, he was just, to me, not just my mentor, but he was just the most special person that I'd ever known in the wrestling business. And that's where the strap coming down really came from. Jackie would wear butcher top, so he had 2 straps. And whenever he would get to a point in the match where, oh, looked like Fargo's had enough, he would reach up and he would do it. He would reach up with his hands right here and just pull those straps down. And, you know, both.
You overindulged? Just send her a message and say what's up, and that's it.
Straps would come down, and then Fargo was just ready to kick.
Let her fill in all the details since you don't remember anything.
Kick some butt. And that's where the idea of me pulling down the one strap came from.
So, King, I think you probably...
And then after you get all the information, be like, you know what, as great of a time as it was last night, hearing it from you, you know, from your perspective, it just makes me appreciate it even more.
Just taught a lot of wrestling fans some lingo. I'm a wrestling fan, been a wrestling fan my whole life. I've never heard it called a butcher strap. I've never heard it called a Tarzan strap. So,
yeah,
you know, this
Tarzan top.
Tarzan top.
And butcher top.
This is also an educational program.
Yes,
We're educating
it is.
the
Exactly.
wrestling fan.
Yeah.
So you got your tights, you got your boots, you got your crown. Before we move to the robes, do you remember the first time you pulled the strap down and got the crowd reaction? Do you remember that day?
No, I really don't. And it's so funny, I've talked to people about this. I guess over the years, things have become so special to people because of memorabilia and our memories being so important to us. But as I was doing this all throughout my wrestling career, I don't know, I always looked at it as a job. I mean, I just really went to work every day. And I wasn't thinking about...
I mean, if you really think about it, if you start off in wrestling, what are the odds that you're ever going to actually even have an opportunity to maybe get started in a real career? Are pretty low. So the idea that you would save everything in the off chance that people would give a shit in 40 years is kind of asking a lot.
You know, like today, guys will go out and they say, oh, that was a 5-star match. You know, I hope somebody talks about this match and what I did. We never thought that way back in the day. You went out, you worked your match, and we called it work. That's what the guys in the business call it. That's why it's called, matches are called a work, because that was our work, going to work every day. And so I would, when I first started in the business, I moved to Nashville, or actually Hendersonville, Tennessee, bought a house from Tojo Yamamoto in Hendersonville, Tennessee, right on the Old Hickory Lake. And so every day you would go to work. I would get in my car at maybe 2:30 in the afternoon on a Monday, and I would drive down Interstate 40 to the Mid-South.
Well, she said Happy Valentine's Day. She wouldn't say that to you if you were a jag-off to her. And she confirmed that she's not a dude. So what else do you got? What else do you need here, bro? Just find out when the next sesh is.
South Coliseum, get out, go in, say, hey, everybody, go in my locker room or go in my dressing room and wait for my match. Go out and do my match, go get in the car, drive all the way back to Hendersonville, get home about maybe 2 o'clock in the morning and go to bed. And then get up the next day, have a little free time, and then about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, get in the car again, drive to Louisville, Kentucky, have the match, and then drive back that night. And it was just like going to work every day. So I don't know, you didn't really stop and think that much about what went into the matches. I certainly would have never remembered the first time I pulled a strap down.
That's true. Our memories are extremely important.
And there may be guys that are around that do have that kind of memory.
You got to remember to land out of a suplex and let your feet hit first.
I have trouble remembering what I had for breakfast this morning. So it's just, I never thought about stuff like that as being important.
But you did.
This guy has an entire wing of his home dedicated to himself, but he says he didn't save much. Can you imagine? He'd had to have a whole fucking museum. How old is this video? 2 years. Well, he uploaded it 2 years ago. I'm not sure when it was made.
Know that you got the crowd reaction out of it.
Oh yeah, well, I mean every night that's what the match was all about. You would strive to get that crowd reaction every single match and every single night. And
she must know you're a simp. Why does she need to know that you're a simp?
All match long, if you could get it. I mean,
you got to preserve some mystery, King TL.
That made the difference in you being on top or on the main event as being, on the early part of the card in the first match, an opening match, is if you were able to get the crowd's response and keep it throughout an entire match.
Well, King, your wardrobe had to match your character or your gimmick, correct? And I think yours always did. So let's get into some of these iconic robes.
Well, as you can see, I have, I don't even know how many here, maybe 15 or 20 right here. Up in my attic, I still probably have about 20 more of the long robes. I can't remember what year it was, but one night at the Mid-South Coliseum, somebody said, hey, there's a little lady out here that would like to meet you and talk to you. She's a seamstress. And I said, okay. So up until that time, I had gotten my little shiny jackets or my little shiny capes from Carl and Hildegard. I had probably bought 5 or 6 little outfits from those people. And then this lady introduced herself, just a sweet little lady from Little Rock, Arkansas. And she told me that actually, the first time I met her, she had made, and once again, I wish I could remember what cape it was, but she had made a cape, and it was beautiful. She made this cape for me, and she said,
now, King, is this a person in real life? Or is this an online person?
I'm a seamstress, and I could make you one of these as often as...
Or were you on a panel with her?
You would like. And I think, of course, this was, like I said, this was in the late 70s or whatever, and no telling how much work she'd put into it, and she just wanted like less than $100 for it. And so, but $100 at that time in wrestling, that was a lot of money. But I could see that it was good, and I could see that it would enhance my gimmick, so to speak. So I said, yeah, I'll buy this one, and can you make me another one next week? So we went for about a year, where every Monday night she would bring me a new robe or cape.
Hey, King TL, have you ever taken any of those pills at the gas station to try to enhance your gimmick?
To the Coliseum, and I would pay her like the $100 for it. And so I wound up with probably over 50, capes and robes.
Of course she got free tickets for wrestling.
Oh, absolutely. But you know what was crazy? She was not even a huge wrestling fan. I mean, she would drive all the way from Little Rock, and I would meet her early in the night and pay her for the robe and, tell her how great it was, take a picture with it. And she wouldn't even stay for the matches.
Bring back Love Connection. We just did a Love Connection like 2 days ago.
She would get in her car and drive all the way back to Little Rock.
But you really owe this lady a bunch, because she really helped.
Oh, you mean bring the actual television show back? I think King's been on quite a few dating shows. He's casting a wide net.
Helped in the evolution of the King.
Absolutely.
You know who I saw last night? I didn't actually go into the panel, but I saw that they were on the panel. On Sarah the Raging Potato was the Furby. I saw the Furby on the panel.
And like you said,
I think Spicoli I don't remember if Spicoli was on that one or if they were just talking about him.
These things are so important. Your look. I mean, basically, in wrestling, that's all you have to sell to people is an image. I mean, because when you get right down to it, even though when I was watching wrestling as a kid, I'm looking at Jackie Fargo on TV, he looked larger than life to me. He was a superhero.
Hang out down here by Jerry's
Batman
crotch.
Or Superman to me, right?
So I don't have to keep moving.
But then when I actually got to meet Jackie, or when I got to meet all of the other guys in the business, you find out that...
Liquid Grace. Okay, so she was in Discord from Kitchen Man Dan. he co-signed.
They're just regular guys like everybody else, you know. But when the camera goes on and they have their gimmick in place and they have that look, that image, that's when it's special. And some guys still to this day, you know, they're just kind of generic. They just go out with just wrestling tights. They don't bother to wear a robe or anything like that. And so that it's not as eye-catching. It's not as appealing to a wrestling fan as some of these different outfits. And one of the things that I know I had about 4 different ones made, but early on, when I met Marguerite, I asked her right at the time because
Sarah left a comment on the video where I reviewed Ben's debate on there, and she said something about joining a open panel. I don't think that's going to happen. I'm just not a panel guy. I don't know what the hell I would. What am I going to talk about on the Raging Sarah show?
I had something in the back of my mind. In 1976, I went to the Mid-South Coliseum to watch a concert, and that concert and the look of those guys.
You got a hymn script?
Made an indelible mark on me that is.
Well, give us the real inside scoop, King. Did it enhance your gimmick?
Still there today. Still the greatest show I've ever seen, and I've seen him probably 15 times. But it was Kiss. And I'll never.
I played the clip of you and the Furby at the first ever IRL streaming as art pop-up event.
Forget when the concert was about to start, and I emulated this later on when I was I think maybe wrestling Hulk Hogan or somebody at the Coliseum, but the stage, the whole Coliseum went dark. The stage was up there. You were waiting for them to come running out or with their guitars and everything, but all of a sudden the stage went dark, and on the stage suddenly these 4 spots, this white smoke started coming up out of the floor of the stage, and there's these 4 spots, and then all of a sudden then the spotlight shined on these 4 spots, and then from the top of the stage you could just see a hand come rising up, and these 4 guys rose up out of the bottom of the stage, and all of a sudden they were standing there, with their with all that makeup and stuff, and then that's the way the concert started, and the spaceman Ace Frehley. He had all this crazy looking costumes. And so I described that costume to Marguerite Williams, and I think I actually showed her some pictures of Kiss. And I said, "Can you make me something like that?" And she said, "I'll have it for you next week." So next week, I went down I came to the Coliseum.
Oh,
and
man,
she had
look
this,
at that. There it is.
This iconic.
Can you believe that? He showed her a picture of Kiss. And then she says, "Come back next week," and she comes up with like the most iconic Jerry Lawler outfit of all time. Like, that's what I mean. Like, she just got it. Like, she's like, okay, this is the vibe he wants, and I know about Jerry Lawler, so she could make this thing that got what he wanted, but like perfect for him.
Kiss inspired costume for me that has been my favorite all of these years. I wore it starting in the late 70s. I wore it all to the biggest matches I had at the Coliseum when I was wrestling Hulk Hogan. And then my only match that I ever had at WrestleMania, I wore this to the ring at WrestleMania.
Who'd you fight in that WrestleMania?
Well, it was against Michael Cole, and Stone Cold Steve Austin was a special referee in that match. But yeah, this was
that may be your most iconic one to me personally, because I remember that one very vividly.
Hold on, let me see if I can. Yeah, it's been my all-time favorite.
And on a side note, you and I both seen Kiss in 2000.
If my remonetization gets denied, maybe I'll have to try to seek out a sponsorship with Blue Chew.
2019, I think you went backstage with them.
Oh yeah, I've become friends with, especially with Paul Stanley since then, and got to meet him several times. But yeah, this is.
I didn't know this was inspired by Kiss, though.
Yeah. Well, look at this. I'd have to have a little extension now after
we need
all of these years.
We need your.
Yeah, I'm going to have to get Marguerite. Unfortunately, she's passed on. But yeah, this was my all-time favorite, and she made me about 3 or 4 more like this that have somehow become a collector's item and have gotten away from me. But yeah, that was this is my favorite of all time. But as you can see, I mean, she would try to make different colors, different styles.
That's your favorite?
That's probably my favorite, yeah, without a doubt.
And see, I thought that was a lot newer than that. That one's really high quality.
It's one of my...
Who doesn't Imperious like? King TL?
My first ones, yeah.
So Marguerite made all of these?
Every robe that you see here. And I mean, the quality, every week, it was like, every week she would come up with something new and something more spectacular than the last.
Yeah, I only had it for like a very, very brief window, but they, yeah, it got taken down. Because I think it's because of the, I think it's just a combination of like harmful content, they said.
Take a look at that. I mean, you know, this was just amazing.
I don't remember that one, but it's pretty neat. Well, we don't get to see the extravagant shit watching just the TV show.
Every week I would just go, oh my gosh, Margie, this is awesome. How much do I owe you for this? And she said, $100. So I said, okay. But yeah.
She's a true professional because your ordinary person wouldn't know even where to go get the material.
No, and exactly. This, I mean, every week she would have some kind of new material.
He said that you vouched for her.
The glitter, the sparkle. She would always have some sort of a king emblem on there.
So, King, did she know the impact that she had on your career?
I don't think she did, no. And even I didn't at that time. You know, that was something.
Remember that time Batista wore all blue down to the ring, and it like wasn't a big deal at all, but it like became like this huge iconic thing, Blue Tista.
And then it came later that I was like an epiphany. I all of a sudden said, hey, golly, I would have never been what I am today without her.
And she made this one for you?
Yes, she did. Yeah.
Well, tell us about this one. This one's kind of obvious.
Well, this is, as most people know, that I am like not just a, oh gosh, when you look around the Batcave here, I mean, most of my collecting started with Coca-Cola memorabilia. Mm-hmm. But as far as other stuff, I have been a lifelong Cleveland Browns fan. Mm-hmm. Long-suffering, believe me. Mm-hmm. We're one of the only teams that's never been to the Super Bowl. And I think this year was Super Bowl 57. So you got to be a true fan to be a Cleveland Browns fan. And you got to be a true Cleveland Browns fan to wear something like this to a match that I had in...
Oh, I think he likes that, though. So I don't know if it's really taken advantage of him because he's into it. He likes that dynamic.
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And anybody that knows Cleveland sports, they know that Pittsburgh and the Steelers and the Browns was one of the most heated rivalries ever.
So he
and
hates
so I
Pittsburgh,
had Marguerite make me this when I knew I was going to be wrestling in Pittsburgh. And I've worn this several times, just because I'm a Browns fan.
Okay, good question. How much lead time did you have to give her for something like this?
1 week.
I'm going to Pittsburgh next week.
1 week.
Cleveland Browns robe.
Yes, exactly. 1 week.
So did you get booed when you wore this?
Did I ever? Yeah, and it was so great. Because I can't remember. I may have been wrestling Booker T. But anyway, as I was walking out to the ring, everybody knew, the fans there knew that I was a big Browns fan. And especially then when they saw me coming out with this Cleveland Brown. And I had Cleveland Browns tights. I had a Cleveland Browns Tarzan top. Everything was Browns, top to bottom. So it worked out great. They still have footage of it somewhere. But as I was walking by, there was a little kid holding up a big Pittsburgh Steeler poster. And this was back in the day that you could do this kind of stuff and get away with it. I was walking by and I look over. I snatched that kid's poster and I just ripped it up right into the camera. I'm ripping up this Steeler poster with all this Brown stuff on. But
so what's your next favorite one? I mean, they're just different materials and different time periods, correct?
Yeah, they really are. Trying to think of
some of them are when you were wrestling.
I don't know that he prepped that much. I don't know if he prepped that much with this.
Like this one here, King.
Yeah, that goes back to commentating.
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember this one when you were announcing some matches.
Yes, and I would always, when I was wearing these, I would always still wear my ring gear underneath it. And then, a lot of...
He just brought Dan in right at the end just to have a quick go at her so that Dan could vouch for the quality.
A lot of times I would be wrestling. I mean, I would start doing the show with Jim Ross, And then, boom, bell would ring, they'd play my music. I'd jump up and say, hey, Jim, I'll be right back, and strip off the coat and go into the ring and wrestle. This right here is like, as far as commentating goes, this was my first main jacket that I started wearing in WWE, doing the commentary. And my first WWE publicity photos was wearing
that jacket.
This jacket right here.
So King,
I can't even tell you how many times this was worn on TV.
Whenever you dress up in your costume, your wardrobe, I mean, people are thinking royalty, right? That's kind of what you're wanting to get across.
Hopefully, yeah,
to
that's what I'm trying to get across.
The narrative.
VCDP, hell yeah. I was thinking VPDP for a second. I finally caught a Vegan Patriot live yesterday, and it was kind of interesting. She went and got her nails done. And then she went to eat at a Chinese restaurant and had like some pretty combative times with the chat. And then she was sitting outside and a homeless guy bullied her out of her last cigarette. She was like scared of him, so she gave it to him. She just wanted him to go away. And yes, I did. I put in the chat that VP was bullied out of her last cigarette.
Have actually had to fit your gimmick, your character, and you kind of push that every chance you got, right?
Oh,
That's
exactly.
how you're marketing yourself.
Marketing myself, exactly. And then other things would happen, especially once I got into WWE. I started the WWE in 1992, the end of 1992. And at that time, of course...
I'm pretty sure she's still in California. I don't know that she's... I didn't watch long enough. It looked like the nail salon in Sacramento, but I could be wrong.
The Rock was one of the big guys, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and they were having these big feuds with
her hair is like it's not completely pink, but it's really pink.
With Vince McMahon himself, and then but The Rock would come out and you know, he went from as a matter of fact, he went from being like a nobody. He started right here in Memphis. There's a TV show on that is starting. The new series or the new season starts March 16th on NBC. It's called The Young Rock.
Yes, I've seen.
And so the first season.
Oh boy, we got 20 minutes on Life with Mikey. Where are we gonna get the last of this thing talking about Young Rock?
Last year. Went over, covered The Rock when he was just a little kid, and talked about his dad being Rocky Johnson, who had wrestled here in Memphis a lot of times. Well, this season is all about The Rock starting out. Before he was The Rock, when he was called Flex Cavana, he started out right here in Memphis, Tennessee. And I had several matches with him. And so this season of The Young Rock is going to be all about him being in Memphis. They got an actor playing me. They got an actor playing Rocky.
We could watch that on Twitch. I don't think we could watch it here, though.
Or the Rock and
the Memphis season of Young Rock.
Just all the different wrestlers that were in Memphis. They're actually filming it in Australia, of all places. I don't know why, but they've sent me pictures. They built.
King, what are your expectations with this panel girl? Are you just trying to find somebody to like help you jerk off, or are you trying to like meet up with her in real life? What's the story? What's your goal here?
Built an entire set that looked exactly like our Channel 5 studios, where Lance Russell and Dave Brown sat, and the ring and everything looks just like it did, back in the late 90s when The Rock started. But speaking of The Rock, as I started on a while ago, when he got big there in the WWE, he was famous for wearing these kind of flashy shirts. Mm-hmm. And he would come out and tell everybody, this, no big deal, $1,000 shirt that I got over in Italy and that kind of thing. And so he ran his course there. He was terrific, probably one of the greatest WWE superstars ever. And then, of course, has gone on to become the highest paid movie star in Hollywood, and still to this day. And but when he left, he had worn, I don't know how many of these shirts he had, and they would keep them every week in the wardrobe truck, a big 18-wheeler that goes around with all the shows. And he had left.
It's Josie Lassard, okay? That's who King has been having e-sex with.
Several of those shirts in one of the wardrobe trucks. And after he'd been gone about 6 or 7 months, wardrobe lady came to me before a show, and she said, Jerry, I know you wear these bling shirts with all these sparkles and stuff. And she said, Rock left about 7 or 8 of his shirts in the truck, and we're clearing out some of the old stuff, and we're just going to throw those things out unless you want them. If you want them, you can have them. So I said, sure. So I swear I didn't even think anything about it. I just started wearing them every week, not even thinking about the fact that Rock had.
King, you haven't even seen her? All you're going off is the voice? King.
Worn over some of these on some of the most famous shows ever on Monday Night Raw.
This is a real burial of Lawler for Randy Wanzer.
He had been wearing these different shirts.
Don't forget that he ripped off the Riddler with this one back here.
But anyway, I was left with 7 or 8 of those shirts. One of which I can't tell you how many times I wore it on Raw. And I had pictures made on the Topps trading cards wearing that shirt. But Rock had worn the shirt before when he was up there during one of the most famous segments ever, where it was he and Mick Foley doing a This Is Your Life show about The Rock. And it was the highest rated episode ever of Monday Night Raw, highest rated segment ever.
I remember that.
Yeah, and he was a black shirt with these gold, real shiny gold round emblems on it.
King's jacking off right now so that he can get that post-nut clarity and see if he still has positive feelings toward her.
And then, I didn't think anything about it, but then I wore the shirt several times. Had
the Scam King.
Picture in the Topps.
I bet all that furniture just completely fell apart that he sold all those poor people in where was it? Evansville.
Trading cards with it. And I showed it on the Lost Memorabilia show, the WWE.
What kind of pics did she send? Did she just send regular photos, or were you exchanging intimate photos? It ain't Josie. Hold on, no, it is Josie, right?
That WWE did. I showed it and I told the story of it, and I got a call from a person in Hawaii, and they said they wanted to buy that shirt.
King, that's the fastest way to figure it out if you really like her or not. Bust out a quick nut to her, blast off, and then be like, okay, well, I can just go about my day now, or I'm still thinking about texting her.
So anyway, a couple of calls later, back and forth, and I sold the shirt for $10,000, just a short sleeve.
Wow, not only has he ripped off intellectual property, now they gave him these shirts thinking that he was a big Rock fan, and now he's out selling the shirts. He's selling all this. He's like Ping Pong Dave. He got stuff out of the free box, and now he's trying to monetize it, except the King is just selling it. Ping Pong Dave tried to turn a garden hat into getting Grace's clam.
Shirt that The Rock and I had both worn on TV.
But you still have one, right?
Well, I still have several. I have one. One is down at our club, and hanging in the memorabilia case. Here's a famous one that The Rock wore.
Oh shit, son! Oh, if you were gonna have that shirt, if you were gonna have a Rock shirt, I think it would be this one for sure.
I can't tell you how many times he wore this on the WWE show, and then I wore it several times, and most recently, I wore this shirt when I got attacked by Bray Wyatt, as with the mandible claw type thing that he was doing. What was the gimmick with the monster face? That would see another gimmick shirt. But anyway, I was wearing this on that, which hadn't been all that long ago.
Yeah, that's been in the last 5 years, right?
Oh, it's been in the last 2 years. Yeah. So anyway,
so this is one of the Rocks that you.
This was one of the Rocks. This was one of the Rocks. But yeah, all of these were, and I think there's a couple more that were his over here.
Well,
I would like to address the rumors of me and King T.O. being in a romantic relationship.
King, we're going to edit this part out because he's going to want these back.
Oh yeah. No, actually, I heard from The Rock about it, and because through Twitter, and he actually said, "I love it, King. You wear it well." And so that was
Shirt
cool.
Bros.
I don't think that would be something that
I like that Lawler wore the shirt that The Rock wore back onto the show. Like, I think that's a pretty baller move.
he's worried about
He's like, fuck it, a nice shirt's a nice shirt. I'm wearing this.
these days.
No. Well, King, we appreciate you giving us a tour of your wardrobe, the story about your crown, the boots, and so you're going to take $50 a piece for these. No, you gave $100.
Excuse me. Did you say? Yeah, I gave $100 a piece. Wow. Yeah. Can you imagine?
King, you're good, buddy.
They're very iconic to all wrestling fans.
Yeah.
I'm sure Josie is a wonderful person when you get to know her.
Even people that are not wrestling fans probably would recognize you in the one over there.
Yeah, one of my original robes on the show that I was talking about that was on A&E in search of lost WWE memorabilia. It was the robe that I first wore the first time I was on a Monday Night Raw show, and WWE gave me $15,000 for that, and it's going to be in the museum.
I could tell on that show you really didn't want to get rid of that.
No, I didn't.
They twisted your arm. You went out.
Yeah.
You were a company guy, though.
Yes,
so
exactly.
You went along with the company.
Exactly right.
But fortunately, you got to keep the one that was kind of after Kiss.
Yeah.
And to me, that's the most iconic one anyway.
Yeah, I feel like that too. But they wanted that one because the very first time I showed up on Raw to crown, they had just had the King of the Ring tournament, and Bret Hart got crowned king, and then I came along and said, hey, there's only one room for one king in the WWE, and that's me. And so I wound up smashing his crown, threw the throne down on him and everything, and that started a couple-year-long feud between Bret and I.
So, King, since we're being educational here, if somebody out there knows how to make a crown, there's a good market for them.
Yes.
Because for a small fee, you'd be glad to autograph that for him, right?
Yes, sir.
For a small fee, he would autograph.
Are you listening, Thorpes? There's big money to be made in the crown making business.
A new crown. So
right.
Anybody out there that knows how to make crowns, he's your guy.
Well, there is a guy, now we both know Mark James, who is a Memphis wrestling historian. Mm-hmm. His brother has made some very, very good-looking crowns, but apparently, I mean, it's a long, drawn-out process. You know, if you order a crown from him, it's going to take him a while to get it done, and he does a great job on them, but it just takes so long to get them. You know.
It's great to be the King, and thank you, WWE Hall of Famer Jerry the King Lawler.
Well, he had a hand in, Rock's coming up and bringing him into Memphis, and so he probably feels like he's got a stake in the Rock.
Thank you for inviting us into your house once again.
Well, that was the Jerry Lawler thing. Let me see if we can find this thing we were talking about earlier. Oh, where's the... Oh, we'll have to just add that to the list. I don't have time, unfortunately, to watch it today. I thought it was only like 40 minutes long, but I guess it's like an hour long. But one day we'll watch the tag team Unsold pilot with original commercials. What's up, Dave's channel? What was I? There was something else I was thinking about. Oh, shoot. Did my screen freeze up? Crown of Thorns for Ben. We watched the one called Mod Drama, but there's another one as well, and for some reason I can't figure out where it's at. Like, there's definitely one that shows up for me, but I can't. Is it a short, maybe? No, it's not a short. I don't know where it's at. I don't... Chess with Jedi Rich. Dispensary Trip. Lonely in Manhattan. Is The Rock the wrestler that made the best future after wrestling? Probably, yeah. I mean, he made so much money and like got so much fame, so I would say probably so. I'm sure there are other people that have made a ton of money though. I wish I knew where that video was at. Oh, here's Dan.
Stay on stream.
I'm gonna base one panel because I'm domestic. I'm domestic. There it is. You're getting abused.
Can I talk to Rich, or are you gonna just keep talking? Can I talk? Because there was like a couple of reasons I came up here, and it was not to talk to you.
You can't talk because you're retarded.
Listen, babes, I know you love me, but like, can I talk to Rich really quick? I'll give you your attention that you want in a second. Just let me talk to Rich for 1 second, please.
I think you could take the money that Hulk Hogan and Stone Cold made making movies, and it wouldn't even pay the catering on one of the Rock's movies. Like, he made so much. He was literally the highest paid actor for like a long ass time. It's ridiculous how much money that guy made.
Can you shut up, please? I know you love me and you want to talk to me and take all my attention. I totally get it because nobody's gonna fuck you, and that's why you love hearing Doobie getting fucked on stream, because that's the closest you're gonna get to pussy. But could I talk to Rich for 1 second? Just 1 second. Could you just shut your fucking whore mouth?
Shut your whore mouth.
Leave the panel.
See, you're just like Joy. You're a lot more enjoyable with a fucking dick in your mouth.
I've never had.
Could I please just talk to Rich for 1 fucking second?
Wow.
About the Reddit, or are you gonna take me down?
No. Do you see Rich? Do you
No, I don't want to talk to you or hear you.
Wait, do you see Rich? Like, who are you trying to talk to right now? Who are you trying to talk to right now?
Well, it's fine. I know, because you're just here, but I don't want to talk to you in the meantime.
I think her name is Envy Girls. She's really into it with Rich and Joy right now.
I'm not trying to talk to you in the meantime.
Stay here in silence.
I'm not trying to talk to you in the meantime.
Stay here in silence.
That's fine. I'll sit in silence.
Okay, that's fine. I'll take a piss.
No, it's cool. I'll talk. I got it. I can control the stream for you. Just watch how it's done, baby girl. Hold on. Just shut your mouth for 2 seconds, and I'll show you how it's done.
You're the same.
All right, you gonna shut your mouth?
Here comes Rich.
No, all right. You're not gonna shut your mouth. You're like one of those bitches that always gotta run their fucking mouth.
Rich is back. I'll let you. You're the same 20-something-year-old that admitted to running hate Reddit.
Who are these people? These are the Healthy Family Force. That's Jedi Rich. That's Kitchen Man Dan. He was in the chat here earlier. He's from Grace's community too.
I want you to know you are sad.
Like on people who abuse their fucking.
Well, Rich posted a new video about there was the first mod drama, then there was a second mod drama video, but I can't find it. I don't know if they took it down or what. I wanted to watch that, but they didn't have it, so I figured we'd give them some Dan.
Family members. That's called like fucking charity work. When you run Reddit to collect evidence on people who abuse their family members.
And you still got a zero.
Hello, Rich. I was trying to get your girlfriend to shut up for 2 seconds so I could talk to you about something, but he won't shut up. Do you mind muting him? Because he's like Joy. He just can't stop running his mouth.
If you were about anything,
Do you mind muting him, Rich?
You would have been.
Dan, give her a check. Give her a second.
Yeah, Jan, shut up.
What's she saying? What's she saying?
Anyways,
now, what do you want to come at me?
Rich has got about as much control as Jerry Calhoun in Memphis wrestling.
Hey, can I talk? Hey, listen, like when you let somebody talk, you like shut your mouth. Like, you know, your lips, they go together. They don't separate when you're letting somebody else talk. I don't know if your parents taught you that.
Dirty, stinky bitch. You should have been abused. Shut up.
That's fine. I'll be stinky. I stank like weed, motherfucker. I don't give a fuck. I'll be the stinkiest bitch you ever met. But can you shut your mouth for
She sounds like WTF from Grace's chat.
1 second? Please. I would love that.
Shut up.
WTF did have some zingers.
Richard, do you mind muting him so I could talk to you for a second like an adult?
No.
Let's get Ava up here, buddy.
So anyways, Richard, when you were saying earlier that you were trying to expose me and this and that about the Reddit, and that like you're obviously abusing copyright systems. Like it's not illegal to clip people's content. I'm not
okay.
making any money. Listen,
I
let me
see,
just
I
shut up
see.
for 2 seconds.
Oh.
I'm not making any money from the Reddit, so there's nothing illegal about that. The reason people aren't
Oh.
fighting you over the
Wait, wait,
copyright strikes
Is
is because they don't want to give up their
defamation not
personal
illegal?
information.
Wait, is defamation
So
not
if you fight, can you shut up so I can talk?
No,
So if you
bitch,
try to
haven't
fight
you
the
got that
Reddit
answer already?
strikes, you have to give up a bunch of personal information, and people are worried that you're gonna dox them. So they don't care if their account gets deleted because then they can repost it, you know. But the Reddit is not going to get taken down. A big part of Reddit is
Hey, Andy,
snark
listen,
Reddits
cool.
that
Listen,
clip
guys, you guys want
lives
to
and all that.
roll? Good to
So
know,
you're
Andy. Thank you
not,
for letting
we're
me
not
know.
going to get taken
Good to
down
know.
by you.
Oh, good.
And
Why do I think the Thorpes haven't streamed in a while? I mean, the most obvious answer would be that they just got that big check. And so they're just like chilling, you know, and don't feel like the pressure to. Maybe the productivity arc wasn't like, maybe that it's their own productivity, not maybe they're working on, you know, something, I don't know. But I mean, typically it seems like if they have like a lot of money, they're less likely to stream consistently.
I don't want
doing
you to
anything that's a felony.
Okay, good.
And like I told you,
Unless they made a Best Buy run. If it's a Best Buy run, all bets are off.
before,
Andy, hold on one second.
Maybe the productivity arc has like nothing to do with streaming. Maybe the productivity arc is like, you know, Grace is going to start volunteering down at the homeless shelter. Ben's going to start counseling, you know, people at the homeless shelter, that kind of stuff. We think it's all about the stream. Maybe the Thorpes are just trying to become better citizens.
Go to
Andy, hold on one second. Andy, one second.
I think it was $3,300 they got from Keemstar. Grace has a black eye.
Andy, hold on one second.
No, hold on.
Okay.
If you go
Listen,
to the
Dan, I gotta
classes
go.
to take care of Annette, I'll take the Reddit
I
down.
gotta get ready.
And that's all I had to say.
Andy,
There
thank
you go. Talk.
I know, JoJo. That's Ruby brought that up on her stream the other day. She was like, the productivity arc off to a great start.
Do whatever you need to do, Andy. Listen, but my wife came in.
I will do whatever I need to do because
we
no,
got
that's fine.
we
You
got to
do
go
what
make
you
some
need to
money.
do.
We got to pay the
But if you're so
bills.
bothered by the Reddit, I'll take it down if you fucking go to classes to fucking be a real caretaker to Annette and your mother. That's all I care about. If they're well taken.
Maybe with a productivity arc was all the friends we made along the way. Yes.
Care of, then I'll delete the fucking Reddit.
It's not textbook blackmail. If you do something that I feel
No,
like
it's
you need to
you know
do,
what, black.
Well, there you go. How come she doesn't cam up? A lot of people don't. A lot of people who run like detractor channels, just some people in general don't cam up, especially on panels. Taking Gloria's blood pressure. Joy here's a Joy relapse from 5 days ago.
Hey guys, Joy is not going to be on the show tonight. She'll be sleeping.
From the neighbor. From the neighbor.
What from the neighbor?
From the neighbor.
What from the neighbor?
She gave me alcohol. She gave me alcohol and she gave us weed. Neighbor next door. She gave me a Cosmopolitan and some weed. I'm sorry. She showed me a short through. I'll show you. Look, this weed is from the neighbor.
Great, thank you.
It's from our neighbor. Come on. Don't give me that.
Oh my gosh.
She wanted to talk to me and gave me weed and alcohol. Come on.
Well, now Joy's drunk. She gave Joy a drink, and now Joy's drunk.
Oh my gosh.
The lady called her.
The lady gave her a drink, and now Joy's drunk.
Gloria.
Did she
Gloria.
call me over? Did she not, Gloria? What? Did she not ask for me to come over?
She asked her to come over, yeah. And then she wanted something or what was it?
What she
gave me
want?
Alcohol.
Oh, that's it?
And some weed.
She just invited you over.
Yes, she did, right?
Oh my God, honey. Are you gonna go back? Don't go back.
No, I'm gonna show which.
What? Richer needs, they need richer? Yeah.
Well, Dan, if people had regular, reasonable reactions to things, who would watch?
She wants to see Richard.
I don't want to drink right now.
She doesn't want to drink. She wants me.
I'll talk to her later.
Tell him that he's sleepy, sleeping. Oh, dear. Yeah, the lady came over and invited.
What happened?
No. I think the lady came over. And then Joy, I went inside and Joy was sound asleep. So I knocked on the door and then I said, Joy, but then I saw that she was sound asleep. And she was gonna, and then she got up. The lady came over and asked for her. And I said, Joy is sound asleep. And then she left. So when Joy got up to fix
Gloria's coming through with all the deets.
this, I said, the lady wants you to come over. I don't know. So what does she want? I said, I don't know. She probably wants you to help her or something because she always come over and they need little things, and she cannot do it. So that's what happened. It's not Joy's fault. The lady came over and fixed it now.
Okay.
I don't know if you want that thing.
Yeah. Well, but now Joy's drunk.
Oh, she invited her. Oh my goodness. She was sound asleep, and then the lady came over and said,
What's Gloria writing about, I wonder?
oh, may I speak with Joy? Tell her to come over. So I said she's sound asleep. And then I went over there and I checked, and she was sound asleep. But when I called Joy, she probably wake up. And
Rich, how much for one of Gloria's notebooks?
then she got up and went over there, and the lady, I don't know, invited her
That's
over.
nice. That was nice.
I don't know. And the lady's
Cooking up a
pretty
raccoon.
nice. I mean, it's not.
Oh, that's nice then.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
It was not her fault. It was not Joy's fault. I mean, she was sound asleep.
Okay.
And then she invited her over. And I thought maybe she needed some help with something, because sometimes
Yeah.
I come over, ask.
What?
She gave me a cosmopolitan as my neighbor. Her mom killed herself. And she gave me that weed. And she gave me a cosmopolitan. That's all. What happened? She watched it.
Okay, we were gonna run some errands today, but Joy's obviously asleep.
She keeps track of everyday things, you bet, in that book, like a journal of sorts. Could be some good stuff in there. Gloria wants to dance. Gloria is getting hit on at the bar. Dickie Square and the Baritones. Joy breaks down. Joy getting ready. I watched that one.
Because I believe in God. And I believe that that's what God wants. He doesn't care what border we were born on. Moonzen, you do. You're 100%. I saw. It's like you could care less about the poor kids that are being separated from their parents while they have nothing.
I'm still piecing it together, Stephen David. I took a little bit of time away, and I think everything happened while I was working on the Grace stuff, and I didn't even so much stuff happened. It was a completely chill vibe last time. I remember being in there regularly, and now it's complete chaos.
You have zero while you have everything in the world, and you come in here and Joy calls you out saying, "Hey, Moonzen, maybe change your ways. You're a little bit greedy. We'd like you to be a little bit different," and you don't. You continue doing the same things day in, day out, and you can't stand Joy because look at Joy. She's in Manhattan, but she didn't do it the way you did it. She didn't do it by kissing ass. She didn't do it by having parents with millions of dollars. She didn't do it that way. She did it her own way. She did it with her own style, and she got there without having to give up one iota of her integrity, unlike you. How are those burgers over there? Listen, I got to make myself some burgers too.
These are the best burgers ever. I don't know. No, there's no way. I'm thinking because I have several pounds here, but if I take it to my next hotel, I don't even know if I have a fridge. but I want so bad to bring some for you. I told Alec I'll just leave them for him.
Oh yeah.
Because I can't cook for the next couple nights, but I'm thinking I'm just gonna get some like beef ribs to save money instead of STK. So
Hey, what's up, baby? How are you? Abby.
These are the best burgers you'd ever have. I would tell you. Did I say it was from Fairway? Fairway, if you guys don't know, is one of the best grocery stores you could ever go to that I've ever gone in my whole life. It's one of those like local places, but it's here in Manhattan. And I can't describe the level of quality. That's where I get my beef ribs. And they're barbecue beef ribs, but I can't describe, like, it's not like the barbecue like you guys think. It's not slathered in barbecue. It's like a hint of barbecue that they cooked into the meat. And
yeah, the next thing I knew, like they had gone off their like Jedi diet. They were, you know, she was drinking. There were, you know, I remember I don't remember if they showed it on the live stream or not, but in the video they cut, but like you can tell like she's just throwing up like on camera.
They're so satisfying. And I never ever would dream of.
But I mean, that's what they do. They document their lives. So I guess if she's going through it, it's at least they're, you know, at least they're filming it.
Throwing them up. Some ribs are so fatty and so barbecued that it's too much. So I've been really good about my bulimia, not so good about the alcohol, but whatever. Rich was really awesome about it. I was really worried. I honestly told Amanda before I told Rich because I thought he was going to be mad at me. Because you guys don't understand, alcohol to me is really bad. Like you guys saw him like doing cartwheels like a buffoon.
Who did we see that was a big fan of Aldi? Oh, Tony Yeoman.
Become like a mad woman when I drink alcohol. But the fact Rich was cool about it, like, really means the world to me. And I was really nervous. I knew I'd tell him, but I was nervous to tell him right away because I thought he would be disappointed in me. I was going to tell him. I never, ever, ever keep anything from Richard, but like sometimes I'll like delay telling him, you know what I mean? So I told Amanda first, and I was shit-faced when I called Amanda, and I was so embarrassed on Wednesday. I really made a buffoon of myself. And that's not why I got kicked out of the place. They didn't even care about that. I don't think they heard. But someone they said wasn't calling. They gave us the number of the person that was calling, Cecily. Like, we know who was calling. Gabe told me. Gabe is not disagreeing like that. That's what's funny. He's like, here's the number. Who keeps calling me? Like, he literally gave us the number.
Oh, yeah. And didn't like, hey, what's up? It's me. Didn't at some point, didn't she like show a picture of a guy on stream? Or was that a different person?
And they said I could stay in the morning, but like once I'm not invited somewhere, I'm ready to leave. And like with Alec, he said I could stay till tomorrow. But once this thing happened with his ex-wife, I'm like, I'm ready to leave. But also, I probably will have a client.
Am I thinking of Hale Star that showed the Eminem, the guy that she met that looked like Eminem?
Client tonight, which I can't do it, Alex. I would never, ever, excuse me. So, oh, sorry, I was just eating, so swallowing my beef here. I just feel like, even though like you guys tried to hate on me, like the fact that my client, like, he has always offered his place, but like some people offer, but like to actually go through with it is another endeavor. And I feel a little embarrassed for showing you guys Alex, but I wanted to show you guys because I wanted you guys to see that like my clients are not lame. They're really cool people. And Alec is probably like one of my closest friends in New York. And it's hard to describe, but like it's
damn, Candy Warhol. She got kicked out of the hotel due to trolls. A client allowed her to stay at his apartment while he was out of the town. She got drunk and showed his photos. I remember the night that that the hotel thing happened, I think. Because I feel like there was like 2 or 3 rapid fire videos about it.
Not about us seeing each other. It's just like us relating in a weird way when we're from totally different worlds. Because I'm a poor girl. I'm 100% a poor girl. My mom lived in low-income apartments, and sometimes were only $90 a month. And my parents were janitors my whole life, you know what I mean? Or worked at the church. Great. Or the school that I went to, the Christian school I went to. You know, and so it's just like, to meet someone that's from a very different walk of life, but like we can relate on a different level. Like, it's not about the sexual part in a sense. Even with Alec, it's not even really, I don't want to get into details, but it's not even it. Okay, I'm gonna say.
There are just some moments on when you watch streamers like Ben and Grace and Healthy Family Force and the people who are very comfortable on camera. It feels like you're in like an FBI van listening to like stuff you're not supposed to be hearing.
It's a BJ. It's nothing more than that with him, Alec. It's just kind of like, he's just like a really compassionate, wonderful person. And you meet very few people in your life like that. And it's not a romantic thing. Because like, honestly, it's not like that at all. It's like a total friendship thing of like someone that, I don't know, like I want to cry because like, you guys understand, like you guys don't even trust me. And you don't even, like, you guys just judge me for what, like, Alec has like insanely nice stuff here. Like I could literally rob him blind. Not that I ever would, but like the fact like he trusts me, like I want to cry. Like it's just, you don't understand. Like after you guys,
I 100% understand what she means. That like just the act of being trusted, like can be very validating.
With all your hate, and then to have someone with such status and class in high society to like entrust me to be to his place, like it's just kind of, I don't know, I'm getting emotional because this means a lot to me, you know what I mean? And you guys like hate me so much, but like when people like that like go out of their way, and even yesterday he could have asked me to leave after answering his phone, but he didn't, you know. And I think he kind of wanted to, but he wouldn't, you know, because it's just not like that. But it felt really good for him to come in and see like the place is clean and like I'm not messing up anything.
Well, I'm assuming those streams were taken down. Were they completely taken down, or were they just like edited?
Things are not. I don't know. I just feel really like happy, and it's like a really bad event, and I just literally got cayenne pepper in my eye because it was on my finger. So
I am not judgmental about anything. I think Joy, like Savvy Guy says, is providing a needed service. A lot of, there are a lot of guys who either can't or, whatever their situation requires that. Like, I'm not really judgmental about it. But I do agree that it's like, she's saying like how good it feels to be trusted, but then like, that's the thing about trust, is that like when people trust you, you lose some of the like fun benefits, like doing a drunk stream and showing all their shit. You know what I mean? Like you can't do that because of that layer of, you're not supposed to do that because of that layer of trust. So, but I mean, I don't know. You can't blame the fermented beverages.
Hold on. I just rubbed cayenne pepper in my fucking eye because I cooked with it. Oh my God.
Well, I wouldn't show the stuff with this picture just because could probably get could get taken down. But like I'd be interested to see like the vibe of the energy of that live stream.
Thank you, whoever sent me cayenne pepper. I think it was Gemini. I love it, but when you rub it in your eye, it's not so well. Okay, so hold on, you guys. Not only am I crying from emotions, but from cayenne pepper in my eye. Okay, hold on. But I feel really bad for ever showing you guys this photo, but Richard said I should. And I just want you guys to see that like my clients are not lame, disgusting men. They're really cool. And as much as you guys judge me, I feel like what I provide is like Alec is taken advantage by a lot of wealthy, lame women. And he means a lot to me in a friend sense. So like I want not that
Lots of
me and
lotion.
Alec, even if I was single, me and Alec would never be a item. You guys understand that? Most of my clients, that's not where we go. It's just like the fact that we can have our different worlds and come together and say, hey, what is it like as a poor girl? What is it like as the richest man in Manhattan? You know, it's just kind of like, it's just a different experience. And I feel really,
it's just like, it's wild to me that so many people, like, I love these shows. Like, I'm, you know, I don't say I'm addicted. I'm not a victim of YouTube, but like, I do watch a lot of like live streamers like this. It's just, you know, it's always interesting what people like. I mean, it just, to see this kind of stuff play out is almost like, it's hard to believe it's real, like, that people share this kind of stuff.
honestly, because
I'm glad they do. Like, I'm not knocking them. I'm just saying.
say another night, Richard was telling me I should. I said, you know what? I'm just gonna check out of Alex page because I already got him in trouble with his ex-wife, and he said I was a coworker, so I hope that works. And he took a photo of me. I was looking terrible. Oh my god, I got this ridiculous thing from Whole Foods the other day. It's like this really long pajama like top thing, and I was wearing that when he came in. And I put my headband on. He's like, "Oh wait, don't put your headband on. Just like it would be as bad as possible." And he took a photo of my bags, but he was trying to tell us like, I'm not even there, which is what I said when.
Because like with this, they have a, you know, they have like an established channel that's bringing in income, and then like you just have to, you got these, some of them are self-caused, obviously curveballs, but then you have curveballs from your chat, you have curveballs on like collabs and stuff like that, and then just the curveballs of life. And like very few, like Ben and Grace stream a lot of stuff, but like it seems like the Jedi stream like everything. Like anytime something's going on, like they get the cameras on.
They called. I said, Alec isn't here.
Oh, hey, Cosmic Kimmy. How are you? I haven't seen you in a minute. What's going on?
Yeah. So I just want you guys to know, and I have some beautiful views of the view, but I didn't want you guys to out him, but not that you could figure out from the view. I think it's pretty.
I think you could absolutely figure it out from the view, I would say, if she's in New York. All right, well, I gotta go. I gotta go to the dentist, unfortunately. But I'm gonna try to stream tomorrow, try to do a movie, and then next week, I think Monday, we're doing Portraits in Black Excellence, King TL, to open the week. And then we'll go from there. But I'm back on like my normal schedule, so it'll be like 8:15 to like 11:30, 12-ish. But I had a lot of fun watching all the crazy shit all week. I appreciate it. Appreciate the support for the marathon streams. They don't stream as openly since you got thrown out of the hotel. Well, that's what I'm trying to get caught up on. All right. Well, anyway, hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. I don't think it shouldn't be a big deal. It's just like a little bitty thing with a wisdom tooth, so I'm not too worried about it. But anyway, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. And if I don't, I'll post either way if I'm going to stream or not tomorrow. But if not, I'll see you for Portraits in Black